peace, purpose, and unshakable joy. Picture yourself moving through life with the confidence that no matter what challenges come your way, you can handle them with grace and resilience. This is not a distant dream or an unattainable goal. It's a way of life that you can cultivate, starting now. Life is filled with ups and downs, moments of triumph and trials, joy and sorrow. We all face struggles, whether it's dealing with stress at work, navigating complex relationships, or simply trying to find happiness in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. But what if there was a way to not only endure these challenges, but to thrive through them? What if, instead of being tossed around by the storms of life, you could remain grounded, centered, and joyful? The philosophy of Stoicism offers us timeless wisdom that has helped countless people across the ages find their inner strength, peace, and happiness. It's a philosophy that teaches us how to live with purpose, how to rise above our circumstances, and how to find joy in every moment, no matter how difficult life may seem. At its core, Stoicism is about embracing the present moment and understanding that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. It's about focusing on what truly matters, letting go of what we cannot change, and cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues aren't just abstract concepts. They are practical tools that can transform the way we live and experience life. In today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with information, distractions, and pressures to conform, the wisdom of Stoicism is more relevant than ever. We live in a time where stress and anxiety are at an all-time high, where people are searching for meaning and happiness in all the wrong places. But the truth is, joy doesn't come from external achievements or possessions. It comes from within. It's about how we perceive and interact with the world around us. Imagine a life where you no longer fear the unknown, where you face difficulties with a calm mind and a steady heart. A life where you find contentment not in the pursuit of more, but in the appreciation of what you already have. This is the power of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us that true happiness is not about avoiding pain, but about embracing it as a part of the human experience and finding joy in the journey. As you embark on this journey, you will discover that Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions or becoming detached from life. On the contrary, it's about fully engaging with life, with all its beauty and complexity, while maintaining a clear mind and an open heart. It's about finding joy in the small, everyday moments and learning to appreciate the simple things, like a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, or the feeling of the sun on your face. This journey will also challenge you to look within, to confront your fears, doubts, and insecurities, and to transform them into strengths. You will learn to shift your focus from the things you cannot control, like other people's opinions, the weather, or the past, and instead focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, leading to a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. As you delve deeper into this philosophy, you will begin to see the world in a new light. You will understand that life is not about the pursuit of perfection, but about progress and growth. It's about learning from our experiences, both good and bad, and using those lessons to become better, stronger, and more compassionate. You will come to realize that every challenge you face is an opportunity to practice virtue, to become more patient, more resilient, and more loving. But Stoicism is not just about personal development. It's also about how we relate to others. It teaches us to build meaningful relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and empathy. It encourages us to connect deeply with others while maintaining a healthy sense of detachment, so that we can love fully without becoming overly attached or dependent. In this way, Stoicism helps us cultivate relationships that are not only fulfilling but also enduring. As you continue on this path, you will discover that joy is not something you chase, it's something you create. It's a state of being that comes from living in alignment with your values, from doing what is right, even when it's difficult, and from finding purpose in your daily actions. This kind of joy is not fleeting or dependent on external circumstances. It's a deep, abiding sense of contentment that stays with you, even in the face of adversity. In a world that often tells us we need more to be happy, more money, more success, more possessions, Stoicism reminds us that we already have everything we need within us. It's about stripping away the excess and focusing on what truly matters: our character, our relationships, and our inner peace. When we live with this kind of clarity and purpose, we find that joy is not something that comes and goes, but something that grows stronger with each passing day. So, as you begin this journey, know that you are not alone. The path of Stoicism has been walked by many before you, philosophers, leaders, warriors, and everyday people who have found in it the strength to live fully and joyfully, no matter what life throws their way. And now it's your turn to walk this path, to discover the power of Stoicism for yourself, and to craft a life of unshakable joy. This journey is not about becoming someone else or changing your circumstances. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, right where you are. It's about finding peace in the present moment, joy in the simple things, and purpose in every action. It's about living with intention, with courage, and with an open heart. And as you do, you will find that the joy you seek is already within you, just waiting to be uncovered. Anxiety can feel like a heavy weight pressing down on your chest, a constant buzz of worry that steals your peace and makes it hard to find joy in even the simplest moments. It's a feeling that so many of us know all too well, a nagging sense of dread about the future, the fear of losing control, the overwhelming pressure to be everything to everyone. But what if you could learn to quiet those anxious thoughts? What if you could find a place of calm and tranquility within yourself, no matter what chaos surrounds you? The wisdom of Stoicism offers us powerful tools to do just that. Through its ancient teachings, we can learn to manage our anxiety, not by avoiding it, but by understanding it and facing it head-on. By applying these Stoic techniques, you can transform your relationship with anxiety, turning it from an enemy into a teacher. These practices are not quick fixes or temporary solutions. They are lifelong habits that, when cultivated, can lead you to a state of lasting inner peace. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Anxiety often stems from the fear of the unknown, from worrying about things that may never happen or that we have no power to change. The Stoics teach us to focus our energy on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, rather than wasting it on what we cannot. This shift in focus can be liberating. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from the burden of unnecessary worry. Instead of fixating on what might go wrong, you learn to take responsibility for your own responses. This doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending they don't exist. It means approaching them with a calm mind, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. By focusing on what you can control, you begin to see that many of the things you worry about are outside your influence. For example, you can't control how others behave, but you can control how you react to their behavior. You can't control the outcome of every situation, but you can control the effort you put into it. This simple yet profound shift in perspective allows you to channel your energy more effectively, reducing the anxiety that comes from feeling powerless. Moreover, this principle teaches you to trust in the natural flow of life. The Stoics believed that the universe operates according to a rational order, and by aligning yourself with that order, by focusing on what is within your control, you can live more harmoniously. This doesn't mean everything will always go your way, but it does mean that you can find peace in knowing that you've done your part and that the rest is beyond your control. The Stoics believed in the power of living in the present moment. Anxiety often pulls us into the future, making us anxious about what might happen tomorrow, next week, or even years from now. But the present moment is where life happens. It's the only time we truly have. By practicing mindfulness, you can anchor yourself in the here and now. Pay attention to your breath, notice the sensations in your body, and observe your thoughts without judgment. When you find your mind drifting to future worries, gently bring it back to the present. This practice helps you break the cycle of anxious thinking, allowing you to find peace in the moment. Mindfulness isn't just about paying attention, it's about fully engaging with the present. When you're mindful, you're not just going through the motions, you're truly experiencing life as it happens. This can be as simple as savoring the taste of your morning coffee, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, or listening intently to a friend without letting your mind wander. By cultivating this habit, you train your mind to stay grounded in the present, reducing the tendency to ruminate on past mistakes or worry about future uncertainties. Over time, this practice can help you develop a deeper sense of peace and contentment as you learn to appreciate the richness of the present moment rather than being caught up in the anxieties of what might come. At first glance, the idea of negative visualization might seem counterintuitive. Why would you want to think about worst-case scenarios? But this Stoic practice is not about dwelling on negative thoughts. It's about preparing yourself mentally for life's challenges. By imagining the worst that could happen, you can reduce the fear and anxiety associated with it. This doesn't mean you're wishing for bad things to happen, but rather, you're mentally rehearsing how you would handle them. This practice can help you build resilience and reduce the shock if things don't go as planned. And often, you'll find that the reality is far less daunting than your imagination led you to believe. Negative visualization also helps you appreciate what you have. When you consider the possibility of losing something or someone important, you're reminded of their value in your life. This practice can deepen your gratitude and reduce the tendency to take things for granted. It's a way of mentally preparing yourself for loss, while also enhancing your appreciation for the present. This technique doesn't make you pessimistic. Instead, it equips you with the mental strength to face challenges head-on. It allows you to confront your fears in a controlled way, reducing their power over you. By regularly practicing negative visualization, you build a psychological buffer that can help you maintain your peace of mind, even in the face of life's inevitable difficulties. The Stoics taught that everything in life is temporary: our possessions, our relationships, even our lives. This may sound bleak, but it's actually a powerful reminder to appreciate what we have while we have it. Anxiety often arises from the fear of losing what we hold dear, whether it's our health, our loved ones, or our status. By accepting the impermanent nature of life, you can let go of the need to cling to things out of fear. Instead of being consumed by the possibility of loss, you can focus on fully enjoying the present. This mindset doesn't eliminate anxiety, but it helps you face it with a sense of calm and acceptance. Impermanence teaches us that change is the only constant in life. When you accept this truth, you become more adaptable and resilient. You stop resisting change and start flowing with it, understanding that every ending is also a new beginning. This perspective can help you navigate life's transitions with grace, whether it's a career change, the end of a relationship, or the loss of a loved one. Moreover, Embracing impermanence can deepen your relationships and enrich your experiences. When you recognize that every moment is fleeting, you're more likely to savor it, to be fully present, and to express your love and gratitude. This awareness can transform how you live your life, making it more meaningful and joyful. Writing down your thoughts is a powerful way to manage anxiety. The Stoics were great advocates of journaling as a tool for self-reflection and personal growth. By putting your worries on paper, you can gain clarity and perspective on what's troubling you. Journaling allows you to examine your fears, understand their root causes, and challenge the thoughts that fuel your anxiety. It's a way to hold yourself accountable, to track your progress, and to remind yourself of the strength and wisdom you're cultivating. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more balanced and peaceful mindset. When you journal, you create a space where you can process your emotions without judgment. This practice helps you untangle the web of thoughts that often accompany anxiety, making them more manageable. It also gives you an opportunity to reflect on your experiences, learn from them, and make conscious decisions about how you want to respond to life's challenges. Furthermore, journaling can serve as a record of your growth. When you look back on your entries, you can see how far you've come, how your perspectives have shifted, and how your ability to manage anxiety has improved. This can be incredibly empowering, reinforcing your confidence in your ability to overcome difficulties. Stoics believed in the practice of voluntary discomfort as a way to strengthen the mind and build resilience. This involves deliberately exposing yourself to minor discomforts or challenges, like taking cold showers, fasting, or going without certain luxuries. By doing so, you train yourself to be less affected by discomfort and better equipped to handle stress and anxiety. When you voluntarily face discomfort, you prove to yourself that you can endure more than you think. This practice helps reduce the fear of suffering, making you more resilient in the face of life's inevitable challenges. It's a reminder that discomfort is temporary and that you have the power to overcome it. Voluntary discomfort also helps you appreciate what you have. When you temporarily give up something you enjoy, whether it's a meal, a warm bed, or a leisurely activity, you're reminded of how much you value it. This practice can cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and reduce the tendency to take things for granted. Moreover, by regularly exposing yourself to discomfort, you build mental and physical toughness. You become more adaptable and less easily shaken by life's challenges. This resilience can help you manage anxiety more effectively as you develop confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to anxiety. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it's hard to remain anxious about the future. The Stoics emphasized the importance of appreciating what you have, rather than constantly striving for more. By regularly practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already present. This simple practice can help you cultivate a sense of contentment and reduce the anxiety that comes from always wanting or fearing the loss of something. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment and reminds you of the abundance that already exists in your life. To cultivate gratitude, consider starting a daily gratitude practice. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big or life-changing. Often, it's the small, everyday things that bring the most joy. This practice helps you train your mind to look for the positive, rather than fixating on what's wrong or what could go wrong. Gratitude also encourages you to see the good in difficult situations. Even in the midst of challenges, there are often things to be grateful for: lessons learned, strength gained, or support from loved ones. By focusing on these positives, you can reduce the intensity of your anxiety and cultivate a more optimistic outlook. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, doesn't mean being indifferent or uncaring. It means not becoming overly attached to things outside of your control. Anxiety often arises when we become too attached to specific outcomes, people, or possessions. By practicing detachment, you learn to care deeply about the things and people in your life, but without the anxiety of losing them. This doesn't mean you stop loving or valuing what you have, but rather you accept that everything in life is transient. When you let go of the need to control or cling, you open yourself up to a more peaceful and liberated way of living. Detachment allows you to engage fully in life without being consumed by it. You can pursue your goals, build relationships, and enjoy life's pleasures, but without becoming dependent on them for your happiness. This mindset frees you from the fear of loss and disappointment, as you understand that your well-being isn't tied to external circumstances. Moreover, detachment helps you maintain a sense of inner peace, even in the face of challenges. When you're not overly attached to specific outcomes, you're more adaptable and open to change. This flexibility can reduce the anxiety that comes from trying to control or predict the future, allowing you to live more fully in the present. Anxiety often narrows our focus, making us feel trapped in our own thoughts. The Stoics valued wisdom and the pursuit of knowledge as a way to gain perspective on life's challenges. When you seek out wisdom, whether through reading, learning from others, or reflecting on your experiences, you broaden your understanding of the world and your place in it. Gaining perspective can help you see your worries in a new light. It reminds you that you're not alone in your struggles and that countless others have faced and overcome similar challenges. This broader view can help reduce the intensity of your anxiety, giving you the mental space to find solutions and move forward. The pursuit of wisdom also helps you cultivate a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. When you engage with philosophical ideas, spiritual teachings, or the insights of others, you're reminded that life is bigger than your immediate concerns. This can help you put your worries into perspective, seeing them as part of a larger journey of growth and self-discovery. Moreover, wisdom encourages you to approach life with curiosity rather than fear. Instead of dreading uncertainty, you begin to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This shift in mindset can help you embrace life's challenges with a sense of openness and resilience, rather than being overwhelmed by anxiety. Finally, acceptance is a key Stoic practice for managing anxiety. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. It means acknowledging reality as it is, without resistance. When you accept the things you cannot change, you free yourself from the anxiety of wishing things were different. Acceptance allows you to focus on what you can do rather than what you wish you could do. It's about finding peace in the present moment, even when it's not perfect. This practice can help you let go of the internal struggle that often fuels anxiety, replacing it with a sense of calm and inner strength. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means active engagement with life as it is. When you accept reality, you're better equipped to respond to it effectively. You stop wasting energy on fighting against what is, and instead use that energy to make positive changes where you can. This mindset can help you navigate life's challenges with greater ease and confidence. Moreover, acceptance helps you develop a sense of inner peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances. When you accept yourself, others, and the world as they are, you're less likely to be disturbed by the ups and downs of life. This doesn't mean you don't care or that you don't strive for improvement. It means you approach life with a calm, steady mind, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Just as you've begun to grasp the tools to manage anxiety and cultivate inner peace, the next step in your journey is to build something even more profound: unbreakable mental resilience. Life is unpredictable, full of unexpected twists and turns that can challenge even the strongest of us. But imagine possessing a mind so fortified that no matter what life throws at you, you remain unshaken. This isn't about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with a strength that grows from within, a strength rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic practices. This resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you cultivate, moment by moment, through deliberate habits. These habits, drawn from the teachings of Stoicism, are more than just strategies. They are a way of life that empowers you to endure, overcome, and thrive in the face of adversity. As you explore these habits, you'll find that resilience isn't just about surviving tough times. It's about transforming them into opportunities for growth and deeper joy. One of the most powerful ways to build mental resilience is through the practice of self-discipline. In a world full of distractions and instant gratification, the ability to stay focused and committed to your values is a rare and powerful strength. Self-discipline allows you to resist the pull of temptation, to stay true to your goals, and to act with integrity even when it's difficult. It's about mastering your impulses and directing your energy toward what truly matters. This habit of self-discipline doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you more resilient. When you train yourself to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel, you develop a kind of inner fortitude that can withstand any storm. You become less swayed by external circumstances and more grounded in your own principles. This kind of resilience is not about rigid control, but about the freedom that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself to make the right choices, no matter what. Self-discipline in Stoicism is about mastering the self, and this mastery is key to mental resilience. When you think about it, many of life's greatest challenges are not external, but internal. The real battles are fought in our minds, overcoming doubt, resisting temptation, managing anger, or staying focused amidst distractions. The Stoic approach teaches that by cultivating self-discipline, you build the mental muscle needed to resist these internal pressures. Consider the discipline of a soldier. In battle, discipline isn't just about following orders. It's about maintaining composure, clarity, and effectiveness in the face of chaos. Similarly, in life, self-discipline helps you maintain your course even when the world around you is in turmoil. This resilience allows you to stay true to your goals and values, even when external circumstances tempt you to stray. Moreover, self-discipline is closely tied to the concept of delayed gratification. Many of life's greatest rewards require patience, persistence, and the ability to resist short-term temptations for long-term gain. Whether it's saving money, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or building a meaningful career, the practice of delayed gratification is a cornerstone of resilience. By training yourself to prioritize long-term benefits over immediate pleasure, you develop the strength to stay the course, no matter how difficult it may become. In today's world, where instant gratification is often just a click away, the ability to delay gratification is increasingly rare but incredibly valuable. It's easy to give in to the allure of immediate pleasure, whether it's through unhealthy eating, impulsive spending, or avoiding difficult tasks. However, these short-term pleasures often come at the expense of long-term well-being. By practicing self-discipline, you build the resilience to make choices that align with your long-term goals, even when the immediate temptation is strong. Another essential habit for building resilience is embracing discomfort. In a society that often prioritizes comfort and ease, the Stoics teach us the value of stepping outside our comfort zones. By willingly facing discomfort, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, you toughen your mind and prepare yourself for the inevitable challenges of life. This isn't about seeking out pain for its own sake, but about training your mind to endure and even thrive in the face of adversity. When you embrace discomfort, you learn that you are stronger than you think. Each time you push through a difficult situation, you expand your capacity for resilience. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. This mindset shift is crucial for developing the kind of unbreakable mental resilience that can carry you through life's toughest moments with grace and strength. Embracing discomfort is a powerful way to build what the Stoics called voluntary hardship. By deliberately exposing yourself to challenges, you prepare yourself for the hardships that life will inevitably bring. This practice not only builds physical and mental toughness, but also cultivates a deep sense of self-reliance and confidence. When you know you can endure discomfort, you're less likely to be intimidated by life's challenges. For example, the Stoic philosopher Seneca would periodically practice living with less to remind himself that he could endure poverty if it ever came to that. He would sleep on the floor, eat simple meals, and wear plain clothes. This practice wasn't about punishing himself, but about building resilience. By experiencing discomfort in a controlled way, Seneca prepared himself to face any situation with calm and confidence. This habit of embracing discomfort can be applied in many areas of life. It could be as simple as taking a cold shower, going for a run in the rain, or fasting for a day. These small acts of voluntary discomfort build mental resilience by teaching you that you can handle more than you think. Over time, you become less fearful of discomfort and more willing to take on challenges, knowing that you have the strength to endure. Another cornerstone of Stoic resilience is the practice of reflection. The Stoics believed in the power of daily self-examination, taking time to review your actions, thoughts, and emotions. This habit of reflection allows you to learn from your experiences, to understand your own strengths and weaknesses, and to make conscious adjustments that strengthen your resilience. It's a way of staying connected to your inner self and ensuring that you are always growing, always improving. Reflection is more than just thinking about the past. It's about actively engaging with your life in a way that promotes continuous growth. When you take the time to reflect, you gain insights that help you navigate future challenges with greater wisdom and clarity. This habit builds resilience by reinforcing your sense of self-awareness and helping you stay aligned with your values, even in the face of adversity. The practice of reflection is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously kept a journal where he reflected on his thoughts and actions. His writings, later compiled into what is now known as Meditations, reveal the depth of his self-reflection and the importance he placed on continuous self-improvement. By regularly reflecting on his life, Marcus Aurelius was able to maintain a sense of purpose and direction, even in the most challenging times. Incorporating reflection into your daily routine can be as simple as spending a few minutes each evening reviewing your day. Ask yourself questions like, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I learn from today's experiences? This practice not only helps you identify areas for improvement, but also reinforces the progress you've made, building your confidence and resilience. Reflection also helps you stay connected to your values and goals. In the busyness of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. By taking time to reflect, you remind yourself of your purpose and ensure that your actions are aligned with your values. This alignment strengthens your resilience, as you're less likely to be swayed by external pressures or distractions. Another vital habit is the practice of detachment, not in the sense of becoming indifferent or uncaring, but in learning to let go of things you cannot control. Life is full of uncertainties, and much of our suffering comes from clinging to things we cannot change. The Stoics teach us that true resilience comes from accepting reality as it is and focusing on what we can influence. When you practice detachment, you free yourself from the anxiety and stress that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. This doesn't mean you stop caring or striving. It means you learn to direct your energy where it can make a difference. This habit of letting go builds resilience by helping you stay calm and centered, even in the midst of chaos. Detachment in Stoicism is about recognizing the limits of your control and focusing on what you can change. The Stoics often use the metaphor of the archer's paradox to illustrate this concept. An archer can control how they aim and release the arrow, but once the arrow is in flight, factors like wind and distance are beyond their control. The Stoic approach is to focus on perfecting your aim, your thoughts and actions, and accept the outcome with equanimity. This mindset of detachment can be applied to many aspects of life. For example, in your relationships, you can control how you treat others, but you cannot control how they respond. In your career, you can control your effort and dedication, but you cannot control the outcome of every project. By focusing on what is within your control and letting go of the rest, you reduce unnecessary stress and build the mental resilience needed to navigate life's uncertainties. Detachment also helps you maintain a sense of inner peace in the face of loss or disappointment. Life is full of changes, and many of these changes are beyond our control. By practicing detachment, you learn to accept these changes with grace, rather than resisting them or becoming overly attached to a particular outcome. This resilience allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that your well-being is not dependent on external circumstances. Another powerful Stoic habit is the cultivation of gratitude. In times of difficulty, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong, but the Stoics remind us to find the good in every situation. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from frustration to appreciation. By regularly practicing gratitude, you build resilience by reinforcing a positive mindset that can weather any storm. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the blessings that exist alongside the difficulties. This habit helps you maintain a balanced outlook, enabling you to face challenges with a sense of hope and optimism. Over time, this practice strengthens your resilience by keeping you grounded in what truly matters, no matter what life throws at you. The practice of gratitude is a powerful tool for building resilience because it trains your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life, even when things are tough. By regularly acknowledging the things you're grateful for, you shift your attention away from what's lacking or going wrong and towards what's good and going well. This shift in focus helps reduce feelings of stress and anxiety, allowing you to approach challenges with a clearer and more optimistic mindset. Gratitude also helps you build stronger relationships, which are a key component of resilience. When you express gratitude to others, you strengthen your connections and create a support system that can help you navigate difficult times. Whether it's thanking a friend for their support, acknowledging a colleague's hard work, or simply appreciating the beauty of nature, these acts of gratitude build a network of positivity that enhances your resilience. One way to cultivate gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. These can be big or small, personal or professional, tangible or intangible. The important thing is to make this a regular practice so that gratitude becomes a natural part of your daily mindset. Over time, you'll find that this habit not only boosts your mood, but also strengthens your resilience as you become more attuned to the good things in your life, even in the midst of challenges. Gratitude also encourages you to see the good in difficult situations. Even in the midst of challenges, there are often things to be grateful for: lessons learned, strength gained, or support from loved ones. By focusing on these positives, you can reduce the intensity of your anxiety and cultivate a more optimistic outlook. The Stoics understood that life's challenges are inevitable, but they also recognized that within each challenge lies an opportunity for growth. By cultivating gratitude, you develop the resilience to face adversity with a positive attitude, knowing that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. This mindset not only helps you weather life's storms, but also allows you to find joy and meaning in the midst of them. Finally, the Stoics teach us the importance of community and connection. While resilience is often thought of as an individual trait, the Stoics understood that we are stronger together. Building and maintaining strong, supportive relationships is a key aspect of mental resilience. When you surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, you create a network of strength that helps you navigate life's challenges. These connections provide not only emotional support, but also perspective, reminding you that you are not alone in your struggles. By cultivating relationships based on mutual respect and shared values, you build a resilient support system that can help you face life's challenges with confidence and grace. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of sympathia refers to the idea of mutual interdependence and the interconnectedness of all things. The Stoics believed that we are all part of a larger whole, and that our well-being is tied to the well-being of others. This understanding encourages us to build strong, supportive relationships that enhance our resilience and help us navigate life's challenges. One way to cultivate strong relationships is to practice active listening. When you truly listen to others, you show that you value their thoughts and feelings, which strengthens your connection with them. Active listening also helps you gain a deeper understanding of others' perspectives, which can provide valuable insights and support when you're facing challenges. Another way to build strong relationships is to be generous with your time and resources. Helping others not only strengthens your connections, but also enhances your own resilience. When you give of yourself, whether it's through volunteering, offering a listening ear, or lending a helping hand, you reinforce the bonds that support you during difficult times. Building a strong community also involves surrounding yourself with people who share your values and aspirations. These connections provide a sense of belonging and purpose, which are essential components of resilience. When you're part of a supportive community, you're more likely to stay motivated and focused on your goals, even when the going gets tough. Finally, the Stoics remind us that resilience is not just about enduring hardships, but about thriving in spite of them. By cultivating strong relationships and a supportive community, you create a network of strength that helps you navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. This resilience allows you to face adversity with a positive attitude, knowing that you have the support of others who care about you. As you've started to build unbreakable mental resilience, you've likely noticed that many of life's challenges are not just external, but internal, involving the delicate dance of human relationships and communication. In our daily interactions, conflicts and disagreements are inevitable, and how we handle these moments can make or break our peace of mind. Imagine, though, if you could navigate these conflicts with a quiet strength, one that doesn't require loud words or heated arguments, but instead leverages the profound power of silence. In a world that often values quick retorts and winning at all costs, the idea of silence as a strategy might seem counterintuitive. Yet, the Stoics knew that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. It's not about retreating or being passive. It's about choosing your battles, conserving your energy, and allowing silence to speak louder than words. Silence, when used wisely, is a tool of immense power, one that can de-escalate conflicts, preserve your dignity, and ultimately win arguments without ever having to raise your voice. The art of silence in Stoicism is not merely the absence of speech, but a deliberate and thoughtful pause that creates space for reflection, for the other person's emotions to settle, and for the situation to be seen more clearly. In these moments, silence becomes a form of strength, signaling that you are not swayed by the need to prove yourself, that you are secure in your own understanding and do not need to engage in every battle presented to you. Think of those moments in life when silence has spoken volumes, when a calm, quiet demeanor has diffused a tense situation, or when not responding to a provocation has shown more wisdom than any argument ever could. These are the moments when silence doesn't just resolve conflicts, it transforms them, turning potential discord into opportunities for deeper understanding and connection. In the heat of an argument, it's easy to feel the urge to defend yourself, to correct the other person, to ensure that your point of view is heard. But what if, instead of reacting, you chose to be still? What if you allowed silence to do the work, to create a pause that lets the heat of the moment cool? The Stoics understood that silence is not about winning or losing. It's about maintaining your inner peace and integrity, even when emotions run high. The power of Stoic silence lies in its ability to shift the dynamics of a conflict. When you remain silent in the face of provocation, you do more than just refuse to engage. You change the nature of the interaction. Your silence can disarm the other person, leading them to reconsider their own words and actions. It gives you the upper hand, not by overpowering the other, but by refusing to be overpowered by the situation. This strategy is particularly effective because it aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot control what others say or do, but you can control how you respond. By choosing silence, you assert your control over the situation, showing that you are not dictated by the need to argue or defend yourself. This quiet strength often leads to more thoughtful and respectful resolutions, as it encourages others to mirror your calm and reflective demeanor. Furthermore, silence can be a profound act of self-preservation. In the heat of an argument, words can easily spiral out of control, leading to regret and deeper conflict. By remaining silent, you protect yourself from saying something you might later wish you hadn't. You give yourself the time and space to consider your response, ensuring that when you do speak, your words are measured, thoughtful, and aligned with your values. Silence also creates an opportunity for deeper listening. In arguments, we often focus so much on what we want to say next that we fail to truly hear the other person. By choosing silence, you shift your attention from speaking to listening, which can lead to greater understanding and empathy. This deeper listening can uncover the true heart of the conflict, allowing for a resolution that goes beyond the surface and addresses the underlying issues. In many cases, silence can also serve as a mirror, reflecting the other person's behavior back to them. When faced with silence, people often become more aware of their own words and actions. This reflection can lead to self-correction, as the absence of a verbal response forces them to confront the impact of their behavior. In this way, silence becomes a powerful tool for encouraging self-awareness and growth in others. There is also a profound connection between silence and humility. The Stoics believed that wisdom comes not from speaking, but from listening and observing. Silence allows you to step back from your own ego, to set aside the need to be right, and to focus instead on understanding and learning. This humility not only fosters personal growth, but also creates a more peaceful and constructive environment for resolving conflicts. In relationships, silence can be a gift. It shows that you value the relationship enough to avoid unnecessary conflict, that you respect the other person's perspective even when you disagree, and that you are willing to listen rather than dominate the conversation. This approach can strengthen relationships by building trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Moreover, silence can serve as a powerful form of non-verbal communication. It can convey emotions and messages that words cannot. A thoughtful pause can express empathy, concern, or a desire for peace, without the need for explanation. This non-verbal communication often speaks louder than words, creating a deeper connection and understanding between people. Silence also plays a crucial role in self-reflection. In the quiet moments, free from the noise of arguments and external distractions, you can connect with your inner self, assess your emotions, and gain clarity on your thoughts. This self-reflection is essential for personal growth and for approaching conflicts with a clear, calm mind. It allows you to step back from the situation, see it from a broader perspective, and decide on the best course of action. In the broader context of life, silence can be a path to inner peace. The Stoics understood that true peace comes not from the absence of conflict, but from the ability to remain calm and centered in the midst of it. By cultivating the habit of silence, you develop the inner strength to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, maintaining your peace of mind regardless of external circumstances. Silence also helps you conserve your energy. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every argument needs to be won. By choosing silence, you save your energy for the things that truly matter, rather than wasting it on trivial disputes. This selective engagement is a key aspect of Stoic wisdom, allowing you to focus on what is truly important in life. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone seems to be talking but few are truly listening, the power of silence is more valuable than ever. It is a rare and precious commodity, one that can transform not only your relationships, but your entire approach to life. By embracing silence, you cultivate a sense of calm, clarity, and strength that will serve you well in all areas of life. As you continue on this journey, remember that silence is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of strength. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows that they do not need to prove themselves, who understands that true power lies not in words, but in wisdom. Through the practice of Stoic silence, you can learn to win arguments without ever speaking, resolving conflicts with grace and dignity, and ultimately, crafting a life filled with peace and joy. The role of silence in conflict resolution is perhaps one of the most overlooked yet powerful strategies in human interaction. Silence, when wielded with intention and purpose, becomes more than just the absence of words. It becomes a profound statement, a declaration of self-control, and a beacon of inner strength. This is the essence of Stoic silence, a tool not for manipulation, but for the preservation of peace, both within oneself and in one's relationships. To understand the power of Stoic silence, it is essential to grasp its philosophical underpinnings. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasized the importance of controlling what is within our power, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, while accepting what is outside our control. Silence, therefore, is an expression of this control. It is a conscious choice not to engage in every conflict or debate, especially when doing so might lead to unnecessary harm or escalate tensions. Consider the example of Socrates, often regarded as a precursor to Stoic thought. Socrates was known for his method of asking questions rather than making statements, a technique that often involved strategic silences. These pauses allowed his interlocutors to reflect deeply on their own beliefs and assumptions. In many ways, Socrates' use of silence was a form of intellectual humility, recognizing that wisdom often lies not in speaking, but in listening and understanding. Similarly, in modern times, the practice of active listening echoes the Stoic use of silence. Active listening involves fully concentrating, understanding, responding, and then remembering what is being said. It's about listening more than speaking, and in the process, creating a space where genuine communication can occur. This approach not only diffuses potential conflicts, but also fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. In professional settings, the strategic use of silence can be particularly effective. Consider a high-stakes negotiation where emotions are running high. The natural inclination might be to argue your point or to counter every statement made by the opposing party. However, by choosing silence, you can shift the dynamics of the negotiation. Silence can create a powerful pause that forces the other party to reflect, reconsider, and possibly even reveal more than they intended. It's a technique often used by skilled negotiators to gain the upper hand without appearing aggressive or confrontational. In personal relationships, silence can be just as powerful. During an argument with a loved one, for instance, the urge to respond immediately and defend oneself is strong. But by taking a moment of silence, you allow the initial surge of emotions, anger, frustration, hurt, to subside. This pause can prevent the escalation of the argument and provide space for both parties to approach the situation with a cooler head and a more open heart. Over time, this practice can transform the way conflicts are handled in a relationship, leading to more constructive and compassionate communication. Moreover, silence in the face of criticism can be a profound act of strength. It takes considerable self-control to resist the urge to defend oneself when unfairly criticized or attacked. However, the Stoic approach teaches us that not every criticism deserves a response. Sometimes, silence is the best way to demonstrate that you are not shaken by others' opinions, that your self-worth is not dependent on external validation. This doesn't mean ignoring feedback or avoiding constructive criticism, but rather choosing not to engage in negative or harmful exchanges that do not serve your growth or well-being. There are also moments in life when silence serves as a form of protest or resistance. Throughout history, there have been instances where silence has spoken louder than words ever could. Consider the concept of a silent protest, where individuals choose to express their dissent or disapproval without uttering a single word. This type of protest can be incredibly powerful, as it demonstrates resolve and unity without resorting to the very behaviors being protested against. For example, during the civil rights movement in the United States, many peaceful protests were marked by silence. This silence was not a sign of weakness or passivity. Rather, it was a powerful statement of dignity and strength in the face of oppression. The choice to remain silent in these situations communicated a message of resilience and unwavering commitment to the cause. In a more personal context, silence can also be a powerful tool for setting boundaries. There are times when the most respectful and effective way to protect your mental and emotional well-being is to remain silent. This could mean choosing not to engage with toxic individuals or deciding not to participate in conversations that undermine your values. In these instances, silence is not about avoiding conflict, but about preserving your peace and staying true to your principles. Another dimension of the power of Stoic silence is its role in fostering introspection and personal growth. The Stoics believed that silence and solitude were essential for self-reflection, a time to connect with one's inner self and to contemplate life's deeper questions. In today's noisy world, where constant communication and information bombardment are the norms, finding moments of silence can be challenging, yet immensely rewarding. In these quiet moments, free from the distractions of daily life, you can gain clarity on your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This introspection allows you to assess your progress, recognize areas for improvement, and align your life with your values and goals. Silence, in this context, becomes a tool for cultivating wisdom and living with intention. The practice of meditation is a powerful way to incorporate silence into your daily routine. Meditation, particularly mindfulness meditation, involves sitting in silence and observing your thoughts without judgment. This practice not only promotes mental clarity and emotional stability, but also enhances your ability to remain calm and centered in the face of challenges. Over time, meditation can help you develop the inner silence that is at the heart of Stoic resilience, the ability to remain still and composed regardless of external circumstances. Silence also has a profound impact on creativity and problem-solving. Many of history's greatest thinkers and creators have emphasized the importance of silence and solitude in their work. Albert Einstein, for instance, often credited his moments of quiet reflection as the source of his most profound insights. In the silence, the mind is free to explore new ideas, make connections, and arrive at solutions that might not have been possible in the midst of noise and activity. In the context of decision-making, silence allows for thoughtful consideration. When faced with a difficult decision, taking time to sit in silence can help you weigh your options more carefully and make choices that are aligned with your values and long-term goals. This deliberate pause prevents impulsive reactions and fosters more deliberate, considered actions, which are crucial for effective leadership and personal integrity. In spiritual practices, silence is often seen as a pathway to deeper understanding and connection with the divine. Many religious and spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of silence as a way to commune with the divine, to listen to the inner voice of wisdom, and to cultivate a sense of peace and serenity. Whether in prayer, meditation, or silent retreat, these practices highlight the transformative power of silence in fostering a deeper connection with oneself and with the greater mysteries of life. In a broader societal context, the value of silence is reflected in the tradition of moments of silence observed in honor of significant events or individuals. These moments are powerful collective experiences that allow people to come together in quiet reflection, to remember, to grieve, and to find solace in the shared experience of silence. The reverence of these moments underscores the deep respect and significance that silence holds in human culture. As you continue to explore the power of Stoic silence, it's important to remember that silence is not an escape or a withdrawal from life. Rather, it is a deliberate and mindful choice, a way to engage with life more deeply and authentically. Silence is a form of strength that allows you to navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and wisdom. It is a tool for preserving your peace, for fostering understanding, and for cultivating a life of meaning and purpose. The journey of incorporating Stoic silence into your life is not without its challenges. It requires patience, practice, and a commitment to self-awareness. It's easy to fall into the habit of reacting impulsively, of feeling the need to fill every silence with words. But with time and practice, you can develop the discipline to choose silence when it serves your higher purpose, to listen more than you speak, and to find strength in the quiet spaces of life. Through the practice of Stoic silence, you will discover a new dimension of inner strength and resilience. You will learn that true power lies not in the volume of your words, but in the depth of your understanding. You will find that by choosing silence, you can resolve conflicts with grace, preserve your peace of mind, and create a life that is rich in wisdom, connection, and joy. Having explored the profound power of silence and its capacity to resolve conflicts, deepen relationships, and cultivate inner strength, we now turn to another transformative Stoic practice: gratitude. In a world where it's easy to focus on what's lacking, what's going wrong, or what we wish we could change, Stoic gratitude offers a powerful antidote. Imagine a life where, no matter the circumstances, you find reasons to appreciate, to feel blessed, and to see the beauty in each moment. This is the essence of Stoic gratitude, a way of living that shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from dissatisfaction to contentment. Gratitude, as the Stoics understood it, isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. Instead, it's about recognizing the gifts that life offers in every situation, even in the midst of hardship. It's about finding value in what you have, rather than being consumed by the desire for what you don't. This practice of gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling, but a way of life that can profoundly impact your perspective, your relationships, and your overall sense of well-being. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to overlook the simple things that bring joy: a warm meal, a kind word, the beauty of nature. Yet, these are the moments that make life rich and meaningful. By cultivating a habit of gratitude, you begin to see these moments not as mundane or ordinary, but as the precious gifts they truly are. This shift in perspective can transform your entire experience of life, making even the most routine days feel extraordinary. Gratitude in the Stoic sense is about more than just saying thank you when something good happens. It's about actively seeking out and recognizing the good in every situation. It's about training your mind to focus on what's positive rather than what's lacking. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or challenges, but rather choosing to place your attention on the aspects of life that bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoic gratitude is its ability to ground you in the present moment. When you're truly grateful, you're not lost in thoughts of the past or worries about the future. You're fully immersed in the here and now. This presence allows you to savor life's experiences more deeply, to connect with others more authentically, and to live with a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of appreciation for the simple fact that you're alive, that you have another day to experience life's wonders. Imagine approaching each challenge with the mindset that there's something valuable to be learned, something to be grateful for, even in the midst of difficulty. This is the power of Stoic gratitude. It doesn't change your circumstances, but it changes the way you experience them. In relationships, gratitude acts as a bridge, connecting you more deeply with others. When you express gratitude for the people in your life, you strengthen those bonds, fostering a sense of connection and mutual respect. Gratitude shifts your focus from what others might lack or what annoys you about them to what they bring to your life. This shift can have a profound impact on your relationships, making them more fulfilling and harmonious. Gratitude also has a transformative effect on your own well-being. Numerous studies have shown that practicing gratitude can lead to greater happiness, improved mental health, and even better physical health. But beyond these benefits, gratitude aligns you with the Stoic principle of accepting life as it is, rather than constantly striving for more or different. This acceptance doesn't mean complacency, but rather a deep appreciation for the present moment and all it offers. Practicing Stoic gratitude also helps you cultivate resilience. When you're able to find something to be grateful for, even in difficult situations, you build the mental strength to navigate life's challenges with grace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right, which can help you maintain a positive outlook, even in tough times. This resilience is not about denying difficulties, but about acknowledging them while still finding reasons to be thankful. One of the key aspects of practicing Stoic gratitude is mindfulness, being fully present and aware of the blessings in your life. This might mean taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's the support of a friend, the beauty of a sunset, or simply the fact that you have food on your table. By bringing your attention to these positive aspects of your life, you reinforce the habit of gratitude, making it a natural part of your daily routine. Gratitude also involves recognizing the impermanence of life. The Stoics understood that everything we have is temporary: our health, our relationships, our possessions. This awareness can actually deepen your sense of gratitude, as it reminds you to appreciate what you have while you have it. Rather than taking things for granted, you begin to see them as precious and fleeting, which enhances your appreciation and enjoyment of them. Incorporating Stoic gratitude into your daily life doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about small, consistent practices that help you shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance. This might mean starting a gratitude journal where you write down a few things you're grateful for each day. It could involve taking a moment to silently thank someone who has made a positive impact on your life, or simply pausing to appreciate the beauty of nature as you go about your day. The practice of Stoic gratitude also extends to yourself. It's important to recognize and appreciate your own efforts, strengths, and achievements. Self-gratitude is not about ego or self-aggrandizement, but about acknowledging the hard work and perseverance you've shown in your life. By appreciating yourself, you build self-esteem and confidence, which in turn enhances your ability to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. Gratitude can also be a powerful tool in transforming how you view challenges and setbacks. The Stoics believed that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, and gratitude helps you see these opportunities more clearly. When faced with a difficult situation, rather than feeling defeated or overwhelmed, you can practice gratitude by asking yourself, "What can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger?" This shift in perspective can turn even the most challenging experiences into valuable lessons and sources of strength. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps you cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. In a world that constantly pushes us to want more, to achieve more, and to be more, gratitude reminds us that we already have enough. It encourages us to appreciate what we have, rather than always striving for the next thing. This contentment doesn't mean settling for less, but rather finding joy and fulfillment in the present moment, in the life you're living right now. In times of crisis or uncertainty, gratitude can be a stabilizing force. When everything around you seems to be falling apart, finding something to be grateful for can provide a sense of grounding and perspective. It reminds you that even in the midst of chaos, there are still things to appreciate, still reasons to be hopeful. This practice can help you maintain your mental and emotional balance, even when the world feels out of control. Gratitude also plays a key role in fostering humility, another central Stoic virtue. When you practice gratitude, you acknowledge that many of the good things in your life are not solely the result of your own efforts, but also the contributions of others and the gifts of fate. This recognition fosters a sense of humility, reminding you that you are part of a larger whole and that your life is interconnected with the lives of others. The act of expressing gratitude to others can also deepen your relationships and build stronger connections. When you take the time to thank someone for their kindness, their support, or simply for being in your life, you strengthen the bond between you. This expression of gratitude can be a powerful way to show your appreciation and to foster a sense of mutual respect and care. It's a simple yet profound way to cultivate love and connection in your life. Practicing Stoic gratitude also involves embracing simplicity. The Stoics believed in the value of living a simple life, free from unnecessary desires and distractions. Gratitude aligns with this philosophy by encouraging you to appreciate the simple pleasures in life, the warmth of the sun, the taste of a home-cooked meal, the sound of a loved one's voice. By focusing on these simple pleasures, you cultivate a sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on external circumstances or material possessions. Furthermore, gratitude can be a powerful tool for overcoming envy and jealousy. In a world where it's easy to compare ourselves to others and to feel envious of their successes or possessions, gratitude shifts our focus back to what we have. It reminds us that our own lives are full of blessings, and that true happiness comes not from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. This mindset can help you let go of envy and find contentment in your own life. Gratitude also has a positive impact on your physical health. Research has shown that practicing gratitude can lead to better sleep, lower stress levels, and improved immune function. This is because gratitude helps to calm the mind and reduce negative emotions, which in turn has a positive effect on the body. By incorporating gratitude into your daily routine, you can improve not only your mental and emotional well-being, but your physical health as well. In the workplace, practicing gratitude can lead to a more positive and productive environment. When you express appreciation for your colleagues' efforts and contributions, you create a culture of respect and support. This can lead to greater collaboration, improved morale, and higher levels of job satisfaction. Gratitude in the workplace fosters a sense of community and teamwork, making it a more fulfilling place to be. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in developing a sense of purpose. When you take the time to appreciate the good things in your life, you begin to see the larger picture, how your actions and choices contribute to the well-being of others and to the world around you. This awareness can help you connect with a deeper sense of purpose, motivating you to live in a way that is aligned with your values and that contributes positively to the lives of others. In the practice of Stoic gratitude, it's important to recognize that every moment, every experience is an opportunity for gratitude. Even in the most challenging times, there is always something to be grateful for, whether it's the strength you find within yourself, the support of loved ones, or the lessons you learn along the way. By adopting this mindset, you can transform your life into a continuous practice of gratitude, where each day is filled with appreciation and joy. Gratitude also fosters a sense of hope and optimism. When you regularly focus on the positive aspects of your life, you train your mind to expect good things. This doesn't mean that you ignore the challenges or difficulties, but rather that you approach them with a mindset of possibility and growth. Gratitude helps you maintain a hopeful outlook, even in the face of adversity, by reminding you that there is always something to be thankful for and that better days are always ahead. In your spiritual life, gratitude can deepen your connection to the divine or to a higher power. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of gratitude as a way to cultivate a sense of reverence and humility. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simply reflecting on the blessings in your life, gratitude can be a powerful way to connect with the sacred and to cultivate a sense of spiritual fulfillment. The practice of gratitude also has a ripple effect, extending beyond yourself and into the lives of others. When you express gratitude, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a cycle of positivity and appreciation that can uplift entire communities. By practicing gratitude, you contribute to a more compassionate and connected world, where people are more likely to support and care for one another. Gratitude also encourages you to live more mindfully, to be more present in each moment, and to appreciate the beauty and richness of life as it unfolds. When you practice gratitude, you become more aware of the small details that make life special: the laughter of a child, the fragrance of a flower, the feeling of the wind on your skin. This mindfulness enhances your experience of life, making each moment more vivid and meaningful. As you cultivate the practice of Stoic gratitude, you will begin to see its impact in every area of your life. You will find that gratitude enhances your relationships, improves your mental and physical health, deepens your sense of purpose, and fills your life with a greater sense of joy and fulfillment. Gratitude becomes not just a practice, but a way of being, a lens through which you view the world and a foundation upon which you build your life. Ultimately, Stoic gratitude is about embracing life as it is, with all its ups and downs, and finding the good in every moment. It's about recognizing that life itself is a gift, and that each day offers countless opportunities for appreciation. By making gratitude a central part of your life, you cultivate a mindset of abundance and joy, one that can carry you through even the most challenging times with grace and resilience. As you continue on this journey of cultivating Stoic gratitude, remember that it's a practice that grows stronger with time and consistency. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you will find to be grateful for. Gratitude has the power to transform your life from the inside out, helping you to see the beauty and value in every moment, and to live with a sense of deep appreciation and joy. Let this practice of gratitude be your guide, your anchor, and your source of strength as you navigate the complexities of life. Embrace each day with an open heart and a grateful mind, and you will find that life itself becomes a more enriching and fulfilling experience. Gratitude is not just about feeling thankful, it's about living with an awareness of the abundance that surrounds you and choosing to focus on the good in every situation. As you immerse yourself in the practice of gratitude, finding joy and contentment in the everyday moments of life, another aspect of Stoic philosophy beckons, one that can transform not only how you feel, but how you live each day: time management. Time, as the Stoics remind us, is our most precious resource. Unlike material possessions, it cannot be regained once lost, and its relentless passage waits for no one. Imagine what your life could look like if you could master each day, using your time wisely and with intention, guided by the principles of Stoicism. In our modern world, where distractions are endless and demands on our time are constant, the ability to manage your time effectively is more crucial than ever. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to let the days slip by without truly accomplishing what matters most. But what if you could approach each day with a clear sense of purpose, prioritizing your tasks with wisdom and efficiency, and ending each evening with the satisfaction of knowing that you've made the most of your time? Stoic time management isn't just about cramming more tasks into your day or pushing yourself to exhaustion in the pursuit of productivity. It's about aligning your time with your values, making conscious choices about how you spend each moment, and eliminating the distractions and trivialities that often consume our lives. It's about living with intention, ensuring that your actions reflect what is truly important to you. Consider the words of Seneca, who warned us that people are often frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. This insight highlights a paradox of modern life. We meticulously manage our money, our possessions, and our reputations, yet we often let time, our most valuable asset, slip through our fingers without a second thought. The Stoics challenge us to flip this perspective, to become as disciplined with our time as we are with our finances, treating it as the treasure that it truly is. Imagine starting each day not with a sense of dread or overwhelm, but with clarity and focus, knowing exactly what needs to be done and why it matters. This is the promise of Stoic time management, a life where your time is spent in pursuit of your highest goals, rather than lost to procrastination, distraction, or the demands of others. By mastering your time, you master your life, ensuring that each day brings you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to live. At the heart of Stoic time management is the principle of living according to nature, which means aligning your actions with your true purpose and the natural flow of life. This involves recognizing that not all tasks are created equal. Some contribute significantly to your growth and well-being, while others are mere distractions. The key is to discern the difference, to prioritize what truly matters, and to let go of the rest. One of the greatest challenges in managing time is the temptation to fill every moment with activity, mistaking busyness for productivity. The Stoics remind us that activity without purpose is futile, and that it is far better to focus on a few meaningful tasks than to scatter your energy across many trivial ones. This focus on quality over quantity is a hallmark of Stoic wisdom, and it applies as much to your time as it does to your actions and relationships. Consider the concept of memento mori, a Stoic reminder of the inevitability of death. While this might seem morbid at first glance, it's actually a powerful motivator for making the most of your time. When you acknowledge that your time on earth is finite, you begin to prioritize what truly matters, letting go of the distractions and superficialities that often consume our lives. Memento mori encourages you to live each day as if it were your last, making every moment count. In practical terms, Stoic time management involves setting clear priorities, focusing on what is within your control, and taking deliberate action each day. It's about making conscious choices with your time, rather than allowing it to be dictated by external pressures or the demands of others. It's about creating a daily rhythm that aligns with your values and goals, ensuring that your time is spent in ways that bring you closer to your highest aspirations. The Stoics also teach us the importance of embracing simplicity in our lives, including in how we manage our time. This means cutting out the unnecessary, the trivial, and the distracting, and focusing instead on what is essential. By simplifying your life, you free up time and energy to devote to the things that truly matter, whether it's pursuing your passions, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying the present moment. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to live a life where every day is filled with purposeful action, where your time is spent not in frantic busyness, but in calm, focused pursuit of what matters most. This is the promise of Stoic time management, a life where your time is used wisely, where each day brings you closer to your goals, and where you end each evening with a deep sense of satisfaction and peace. One of the core principles of Stoic time management is the idea of intentionality, of approaching each day with a clear sense of purpose and direction. This involves not only setting goals and priorities, but also being mindful of how you spend each moment. It's about asking yourself, is this the best use of my time? Is this action aligned with my values and my goals? By constantly reflecting on these questions, you ensure that your time is spent in ways that truly matter. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of focus, of giving your full attention to the task at hand. In a world full of distractions, this kind of focus is increasingly rare, yet it is essential for effective time management. By eliminating distractions and focusing on one task at a time, you can achieve a state of flow, where you are fully immersed in your work and able to accomplish more in less time. This focus not only increases your productivity, but also enhances the quality of your work, leading to greater satisfaction and fulfillment. Another key aspect of Stoic time management is the practice of reflection, of regularly reviewing how you spend your time and making adjustments as needed. This might involve taking a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on what you accomplished, what challenges you faced, and what you could do differently tomorrow. This habit of reflection allows you to learn from your experiences, to continually improve your time management skills, and to ensure that your time is being used in the most effective and meaningful way possible. Stoic time management also involves embracing the concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. This means accepting whatever happens in your life, including how your time is spent, with grace and equanimity. It's about recognizing that not everything will go according to plan, and that sometimes circumstances will force you to adjust your schedule or priorities. By embracing these changes rather than resisting them, you can maintain your inner peace and continue to make the most of your time, no matter what life throws your way. In the practice of Stoic time management, it's also important to recognize the value of rest and recovery. The Stoics understood that life is a balance between action and rest, and that both are necessary for a well-lived life. This means taking time to rest, recharge and reflect, without feeling guilty or anxious about not being productive. By honoring the need for rest, you ensure that you have the energy and clarity to make the most of your time when you are in action. The Stoics also teach us the importance of starting each day with intention and ending it with reflection. This might involve setting aside a few minutes each morning to plan your day, to set your priorities, and to remind yourself of your goals. It could also involve taking a few minutes each evening to review what you accomplished, to reflect on what you learned, and to make adjustments for the next day. These simple practices can have a profound impact on how you manage your time, helping you to stay focused, motivated, and aligned with your values. As you incorporate these Stoic time management strategies into your daily life, you will begin to see a transformation in how you experience time. You will find that you are more focused, more productive, and more at peace with how you spend your days. You will discover that time, when managed wisely, becomes not a source of stress or anxiety, but a powerful tool for living a life of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Imagine the sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing that you are using your time wisely, that each day is bringing you closer to your goals, and that you are living in alignment with your values. This is the power of Stoic time management, a way of living that allows you to master your time and, in doing so, to master your life. By embracing these principles, you can create a life where your time is spent not in frantic busyness, but in calm, focused pursuit of what truly matters. In a world where time often feels like a scarce and fleeting resource, the Stoic approach to time management offers a refreshing and empowering perspective. It reminds us that we have more control over our time than we often realize, and that by making conscious, intentional choices, we can create a life that is rich in purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. This is the essence of Stoic time management, a life where every moment is valued, every action is purposeful, and every day is a step closer to living the life you truly want. As you continue on this journey, remember that mastering your time is not about achieving perfection, but about making progress. It's about being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned, and about celebrating your successes, no matter how small. By approaching each day with intention, focus, and reflection, you can gradually build the habits and practices that will allow you to master your time and, in doing so, to master your life. Let these Stoic principles guide you as you navigate the complexities of modern life, helping you to prioritize what truly matters, to focus on the task at hand, and to make the most of every moment. By embracing Stoic time management, you can create a life that is not only productive, but deeply fulfilling. A life where your time is spent in ways that reflect your highest values and aspirations. As you move forward, take with you the wisdom of the Stoics, who remind us that time is our most precious resource, and that how we use it determines the quality of our lives. Let each day be an opportunity to practice these principles, to refine your time management skills, and to create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and joy. Through the practice of Stoic time management, you can transform not only how you use your time, but how you experience life itself, creating a legacy of wisdom, fulfillment, and peace. The practice of Stoic time management also involves a deep understanding of what truly matters in your life. It's about distinguishing between what is urgent and what is important. The modern world often confuses these two, pushing us to respond to every immediate demand at the expense of our long-term goals and values. The Stoics teach us to prioritize the important over the urgent, to focus on what will have lasting value rather than what simply screams the loudest in the moment. This principle is closely tied to the concept of mindfulness, being fully present in each moment and aware of how you're spending your time. Mindfulness helps you to resist the pull of distractions and to stay focused on your priorities. It's about being intentional with your time, ensuring that every action you take is aligned with your values and goals. This mindfulness is not about rigidity, but about flexibility, allowing you to adapt to changes and challenges while still staying true to your purpose. One practical way to incorporate mindfulness into your time management is through the practice of single tasking, focusing on one task at a time rather than trying to juggle multiple tasks simultaneously. Research has shown that multitasking is not only less efficient, but also more stressful. By focusing on one task at a time, you can work more efficiently, produce higher quality results, and reduce your stress levels. This practice of single tasking is a powerful way to apply Stoic principles to your daily life, helping you to make the most of your time and energy. Another important aspect of Stoic time management is the practice of saying no. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with requests and demands on our time, learning to say no is essential for protecting your time and energy. The Stoics remind us that we cannot do everything, and that by saying no to what doesn't align with our values and goals, we create space for what truly matters. This practice of saying no is not about being selfish, but about being wise, about making conscious choices with your time and ensuring that it is spent on what is most important. Saying no also involves setting boundaries, protecting your time from unnecessary distractions and interruptions. This might mean turning off notifications on your phone, setting aside specific times for deep work, or simply being clear with others about your availability. By setting boundaries, you create a space where you can focus on your priorities and work more efficiently. This practice of setting boundaries is a key component of Stoic time management, helping you to stay focused and productive in a world full of distractions. The Stoics also teach us the importance of discipline in managing our time. Discipline is about making the difficult choices that lead to long-term success, rather than giving in to the temptation of immediate gratification. It's about sticking to your schedule, even when you don't feel like it, and staying committed to your goals, even when challenges arise. This discipline is not about being rigid or harsh with yourself, but about being consistent and committed to what matters most. One practical way to build discipline in your time management is through the use of routines. Routines create a sense of structure and consistency in your day, helping you to stay on track and maintain your focus. This might involve starting your day with a morning routine that sets the tone for the day, or ending your day with an evening routine that helps you wind down and reflect. By establishing routines, you create a framework for your day that supports your goals and helps you make the most of your time. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of reflection in time management. Reflection allows you to step back and assess how you're spending your time, to identify what's working and what's not, and to make adjustments as needed. This might involve taking a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on what you accomplished, or setting aside time each week to review your progress and plan for the week ahead. This practice of reflection helps you to stay aligned with your values and goals, and to continually improve your time management skills. Incorporating Stoic principles into your time management also involves embracing the concept of acceptance. The Stoics teach us that not everything will go according to plan, and that sometimes circumstances will force us to adjust our schedule or priorities. By accepting these changes with grace and equanimity, you can maintain your inner peace and continue to make the most of your time, no matter what life throws your way. This acceptance is closely tied to the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control the external events of our lives, we can control how we respond to them. By focusing on what you can control, your actions, your choices, and your attitude, you can navigate challenges with resilience and grace. This focus on what is within your control is a powerful way to apply Stoic principles to your time management, helping you to stay calm and focused, even in the face of unexpected challenges. Another important aspect of Stoic time management is the practice of gratitude. The Stoics remind us to appreciate the time we have, to recognize it as a gift, and to use it wisely. This gratitude for time encourages us to make the most of each day, to prioritize what truly matters, and to let go of the distractions and superficialities that often consume our lives. By cultivating gratitude for time, you can create a mindset that supports effective time management and a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. Gratitude for time also involves recognizing the impermanence of life. The Stoics teach us that life is short and that our time on earth is limited. This awareness of impermanence encourages us to live each day with intention and purpose, to make the most of the time we have, and to ensure that our actions reflect our highest values and aspirations. By embracing this awareness of impermanence, you can create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Incorporating Stoic principles into your time management also involves embracing simplicity. The Stoics remind us that a simple life is a well-lived life, and that by focusing on what is essential, we can create a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. This simplicity extends to how we manage our time, encouraging us to let go of the unnecessary and to focus on what truly matters. By simplifying your life, you can free up time and energy to devote to the things that are most important to you, whether it's pursuing your passions, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying the present moment. The practice of Stoic time management also involves a deep commitment to self-improvement. The Stoics teach us that life is a continuous journey of growth and development, and that by continually striving to improve ourselves, we can create a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. This commitment to self-improvement extends to how we manage our time, encouraging us to continually refine our time management skills, to learn from our experiences, and to make the most of each day. Incorporating Stoic principles into your time management also involves embracing the concept of community. The Stoics remind us that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a larger community, and that our actions have an impact on others. This awareness of community encourages us to use our time in ways that benefit not only ourselves, but others as well. By incorporating this awareness into your time management, you can create a life that is not only productive, but also contributes positively to the lives of others. As you continue on this journey, remember that Stoic time management is not about achieving perfection, but about making progress. It's about being kind to yourself when things don't go as planned, and about celebrating your successes, no matter how small. By approaching each day with intention, focus, and reflection, you can gradually build the habits and practices that will allow you to master your time, and in doing so, to master your life. Through the practice of Stoic time management, you can create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. You can make the most of the time you have, prioritize what truly matters, and let go of the distractions and superficialities that often consume our lives. By embracing these principles, you can create a life that is not only productive, but deeply fulfilling. A life where your time is spent in ways that reflect your highest values and aspirations. Having explored the powerful impact of managing time with intention and clarity, you've begun to see how aligning your actions with Stoic principles can transform the quality of your life. But even as you diligently manage your time and focus on what truly matters, there is another crucial aspect of Stoic wisdom that can bring you deeper peace and resilience: the art of letting go. Imagine how liberating it would be to free yourself from the constant worry, the need for control, and the weight of things that are beyond your influence. This is where the Stoic philosophy offers a profound lesson: how to release what you cannot control and find serenity in the face of life's uncertainties. In a world that often encourages us to take charge, to control every aspect of our lives, and to strive relentlessly for success, the idea of letting go can feel counterintuitive, even unsettling. Yet, the Stoics understood that true strength lies not in trying to control everything, but in recognizing the limits of your power and focusing instead on what you can influence. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional turmoil that comes from clinging to things that are outside your control. It's about finding peace in the acceptance of life's impermanence and uncertainty. Consider the moments in your life when you felt overwhelmed by the need to control outcomes, when anxiety has taken hold because things didn't go as planned, or when you've been frustrated by the actions of others. What if, instead of resisting these uncontrollable forces, you could release them? What if you could shift your focus to what truly matters: your own thoughts, actions, and responses? This is the essence of the Stoic art of letting go, finding freedom and inner peace by relinquishing the need to control the uncontrollable. Letting go is not about passivity or resignation. It's an active choice to live with wisdom and intention. It's about understanding the difference between what you can change and what you must accept, and channeling your energy toward what you can influence. This practice of letting go allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace, to remain calm in the face of adversity, and to find joy and contentment in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. In relationships, the art of letting go can be transformative. Often, we try to change others, to mold them into our expectations, or to control how they feel or behave. This desire for control can lead to tension, conflict, and disappointment. But when you practice letting go, you allow others to be who they are, accepting them without trying to impose your will. This acceptance can lead to deeper, more authentic connections and a sense of peace that comes from knowing you are not responsible for the actions or feelings of others. In your personal and professional life, letting go means releasing the need to control outcomes. Whether it's a project at work, a personal goal, or a life event, there are always elements that are beyond your control: other people's decisions, unforeseen challenges, or the timing of events. By letting go of the need to control these factors, you can focus on what you can do: your efforts, your attitude, and your resilience. This shift in focus not only reduces stress and anxiety, but also empowers you to act with greater clarity and purpose. The Stoic art of letting go also applies to the past. So often, we hold on to regrets, mistakes, and grievances, allowing them to weigh us down and cloud our present experience. But the past is beyond our control. It cannot be changed or undone. The Stoics teach us to release these burdens, to learn from them, and then to let them go. By doing so, you free yourself from the chains of the past and open up space for growth, joy, and new possibilities in the present. Letting go is also about releasing the fear of the future. The Stoics remind us that much of our anxiety stems from worrying about what might happen, events that are often beyond our control. By letting go of these fears, you can focus on the present moment, where your power truly lies. This doesn't mean ignoring the future or failing to plan, but rather approaching the future with a sense of calm and acceptance, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. In the practice of letting go, You also learn to release attachment to material possessions, status, and external validation. The Stoics recognized that true contentment comes not from what we own or how others perceive us, but from within. By letting go of the need for external approval and material wealth, you can find a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace, grounded in your own values and virtues. This shift in perspective allows you to live with greater freedom and authenticity, unburdened by the pursuit of things that ultimately do not bring lasting happiness. Letting go is a process, one that requires patience, practice, and self-awareness. It's about continually reminding yourself of what is within your control and what is not, and making the conscious choice to release the latter. Over time, this practice can become a natural part of your life, helping you to navigate challenges with greater ease, to maintain your inner peace, and to live with a sense of serenity and joy, no matter what life brings. As you explore the Stoic art of letting go, you will discover that it is not just a way to manage stress or reduce anxiety, but a profound shift in how you experience life. By releasing what you cannot control, you open yourself up to new possibilities, to greater resilience, and to a deeper sense of peace. You learn to live in harmony with the flow of life, accepting its impermanence and uncertainty with grace and equanimity. This practice of letting go can also deepen your connection to others, as it allows you to approach relationships with a spirit of acceptance and understanding, rather than control or expectation. It can enhance your professional life as you focus on what you can contribute rather than worrying about outcomes that are beyond your influence. And it can bring you a sense of freedom and liberation as you release the burdens of the past, the fears of the future, and the need for external validation. Incorporating the Stoic art of letting go into your daily life is not always easy, but it is a practice that can bring profound benefits. It requires mindfulness, self-reflection, and a commitment to living with intention and wisdom. But as you continue to practice, you will find that letting go becomes a source of strength, resilience, and peace. A way of living that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace, to find joy in the present moment, and to create a life that is rich in meaning and fulfillment. Imagine the freedom that comes from letting go of what you cannot control, from releasing the need to fix, change, or perfect every aspect of your life. Imagine the peace that comes from accepting life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. This is the promise of the Stoic art of letting go, a life lived with wisdom, grace, and serenity, where you are free to focus on what truly matters and to let go of the rest. As you embark on this journey of letting go, remember that it is not about abandoning your goals, your values, or your desires, but about aligning them with the realities of life. It's about finding the balance between effort and acceptance, between striving and surrender, and between action and letting go. Through this balance, you can create a life that is both purposeful and peaceful, where you are fully engaged in the present moment, yet free from the burdens of control, worry, and attachment. The Stoic art of letting go is a lifelong practice, one that deepens with time and experience. It's about learning to trust the flow of life, to accept what is, and to release what you cannot change. By embracing this practice, you can create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and joy. A life where you are free to be fully yourself, to live in harmony with the world around you, and to find peace in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. In order to truly understand the Stoic art of letting go, it's important to delve deeper into the teachings of the Stoics, particularly the wisdom of Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca. These Stoic philosophers provided timeless insights into how to release attachment, embrace impermanence, and focus on what truly matters. Epictetus, a former slave-turned Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of recognizing what is within our control and what is not. He taught that we should focus our energy on our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, rather than trying to control external events or other people's behavior. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote encapsulates the essence of letting go, understanding that while we cannot control the events of our lives, we can control how we respond to them. By focusing on our responses rather than the events themselves, we free ourselves from the need to control the uncontrollable and find peace in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, also offered profound insights into the art of letting go. In his personal writings, known as Meditations, Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the impermanence of life and the importance of accepting the natural course of events. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus Aurelius understood that the key to inner strength and peace lies in our ability to accept what is, rather than resisting or trying to change it. His writings encourage us to embrace the flow of life, to accept the inevitability of change, and to let go of our attachment to specific outcomes. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, also emphasized the importance of letting go in his writings. In his letters to Lucilius, Seneca often discussed the value of detachment and the need to release our attachment to material possessions, social status, and even life itself. Seneca believed that by letting go of our attachment to external things, we could cultivate a sense of inner freedom and peace. He wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This insight reminds us that much of our suffering comes from our own minds, from our attachment to things we cannot control, and our resistance to accepting life as it is. The teachings of these Stoic philosophers provide a roadmap for practicing the art of letting go in our own lives. By following their wisdom, we can learn to release our attachment to external things, embrace the impermanence of life, and focus on what truly matters: our own thoughts, actions, and responses. One practical way to incorporate the Stoic art of letting go into your daily life is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, without judgment or attachment. By practicing mindfulness, you can cultivate a greater awareness of your thoughts and emotions and learn to observe them without becoming attached or reactive. This practice can help you to let go of negative thoughts, worries, and fears, and to focus on the present moment with a sense of calm and acceptance. Another practical way to practice letting go is through the use of Stoic exercises, such as negative visualization and the premeditation of evils. Negative visualization involves imagining the loss of the things you value, your loved ones, your health, your possessions, in order to appreciate them more fully and to prepare yourself for the possibility of losing them. This exercise helps to reduce attachment and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for what you have, while also preparing you for the inevitable changes and losses that life brings. The premeditation of evils, another Stoic exercise, involves anticipating the challenges and difficulties you may face in the future, in order to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for them. By imagining the worst-case scenarios and how you would respond to them, you can cultivate a sense of resilience and readiness, while also letting go of the fear of the unknown. This exercise helps to reduce anxiety and to build confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. In addition to these Stoic exercises, another important aspect of letting go is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance involves acknowledging and embracing the reality of the present moment, without trying to change it or resist it. This doesn't mean that you passively accept everything that happens in your life, but rather that you accept what is, while focusing on what you can change. By practicing acceptance, you can reduce the stress and frustration that comes from trying to control the uncontrollable and instead focus your energy on what you can do to improve your situation. Acceptance also involves letting go of the need for approval or validation from others. The Stoics understood that true contentment comes from within, not from external sources. By letting go of the need for others' approval, you can cultivate a sense of self-worth and confidence that is independent of others' opinions. This practice allows you to live more authentically, true to your own values and beliefs, without being swayed by the judgments or expectations of others. Letting go also requires the practice of forgiveness, both of others and of yourself. Holding on to grudges, resentment, or guilt can weigh you down and prevent you from moving forward in life. By practicing forgiveness, you can release these negative emotions and free yourself from the burden of the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning or excusing harmful behavior, but rather it means letting go of the anger and bitterness that keep you trapped in the past. By forgiving others and yourself, you can create space for healing, growth, and new possibilities. Another important aspect of letting go is the practice of detachment. Detachment involves letting go of your attachment to specific outcomes, desires, or expectations. This doesn't mean that you stop caring or striving for your goals, but rather that you release your need for things to turn out a certain way. By practicing detachment, you can reduce the stress and anxiety that come from trying to control the future, and instead focus on doing your best in the present moment. Detachment allows you to approach life with a sense of openness and flexibility, ready to adapt to whatever comes your way. Detachment also involves letting go of your attachment to material possessions and external achievements. The Stoics understood that true happiness and contentment come from within, not from external sources. By letting go of the need for material wealth, social status, or external success, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that is independent of your circumstances. This doesn't mean that you stop pursuing your goals or striving for success, but rather that you recognize that these things do not define your worth or your happiness. Another key aspect of letting go is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude involves focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, and appreciating the present moment rather than longing for the past or worrying about the future. By practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus from what is missing in your life to what is already present and cultivate a sense of contentment and joy. Gratitude helps you to let go of the need for more and to appreciate the richness of the life you already have. The practice of letting go also involves embracing the impermanence of life. The Stoics understood that everything in life is temporary: our possessions, our relationships, our health, even our lives themselves. By embracing this impermanence, you can reduce your attachment to things that are ultimately beyond your control and find peace in the acceptance of life's natural cycles of change and loss. This doesn't mean that you become indifferent or detached from life, but rather that you learn to appreciate the present moment, knowing that it is fleeting and precious. Letting go also requires the practice of patience. Patience involves accepting that things may not happen according to your timeline or expectations, and being willing to wait for the natural unfolding of events. By practicing patience, you can reduce the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to force or rush things, and instead allow life to unfold at its own pace. Patience allows you to trust in the process of life and to find peace in the present moment, even when things are not going according to plan. Another important aspect of letting go is the practice of self-compassion. Self-compassion involves being kind and understanding toward yourself, rather than being critical or judgmental. By practicing self-compassion, You can let go of the harsh self-criticism and perfectionism that often keep you trapped in a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction. Self-compassion allows you to embrace your imperfections and mistakes, and to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. Finally, the practice of letting go involves cultivating a sense of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in others, and trust in the natural flow of life. The Stoics understood that life is unpredictable and often beyond our control, but they also believed in the inherent wisdom and order of the universe. By cultivating a sense of trust, you can let go of the need to control every aspect of your life, and instead trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. This trust allows you to approach life with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes your way. The Stoic art of letting go is a profound practice that can bring greater peace, resilience, and fulfillment to your life. By letting go of what you cannot control, you free yourself from the stress, anxiety, and frustration that come from trying to manage the uncontrollable aspects of life. Instead, you can focus on what truly matters, your own thoughts, actions, and responses, and cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that is independent of external circumstances. The Stoic art of letting go is not about giving up or resigning yourself to fate, but about living with intention, wisdom, and grace. It's about finding the balance between effort and acceptance, between striving and surrender, and between action and letting go. Through this balance, you can create a life that is both purposeful and peaceful, where you are fully engaged in the present moment, yet free from the burdens of control, worry, and attachment. As you continue to explore and practice the Stoic art of letting go, remember that it is a lifelong journey, one that deepens with time and experience. It's about learning to trust the flow of life, to accept what is, and to release what you cannot change. By embracing this practice, you can create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and joy. A life where you are free to be fully yourself, to live in harmony with the world around you, and to find peace in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. So, as you move forward on your Stoic journey, take with you the wisdom of Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, who remind us that the key to a fulfilling life lies not in controlling every aspect of our existence, but in letting go of what we cannot control and focusing on what truly matters. Through the practice of letting go, you can cultivate a sense of inner freedom, resilience, and peace that will carry you through the ups and downs of life with grace and equanimity. Letting go is not about abandoning your dreams, goals, or values, but about aligning them with the realities of life. It's about finding the strength to release what is beyond your control and the wisdom to focus on what is within your power. By embracing the Stoic art of letting go, you can create a life that is both fulfilling and serene, a life where you are free to live with purpose, passion, and peace. As we've explored the liberating practice of letting go, releasing what you cannot control, and finding peace in acceptance, you may have begun to notice how this philosophy can transform not just your inner world, but your relationships as well. Yet, the next step on this Stoic journey invites you to navigate a delicate balance. How do you form deep, meaningful connections with others while maintaining the Stoic detachment that preserves your inner peace? It's a question that goes to the heart of our human experience, touching on our deepest desires for connection and the fears that often accompany them. We all crave closeness, the warmth of being understood, and the comfort of knowing we matter to others. But what happens when these desires lead to attachment, to the kind of dependency that leaves us vulnerable to pain, disappointment, and even heartbreak? The Stoics offer us a way to cultivate relationships that are rich, fulfilling, and deeply connected, yet free from the chains of unhealthy attachment. It's a path that requires both courage and wisdom, teaching us to love fully while holding on to the independence of our own minds and spirits. Imagine what it would feel like to connect with others from a place of genuine care, without the fear of losing yourself in the process. To give your love and support freely, without the anxiety of needing something in return. To enjoy the company of those you cherish, while still being rooted in your own sense of self. This is the essence of building Stoic relationships, forming bonds that are strong and meaningful, yet not weighed down by the need for control, approval, or attachment. It might seem paradoxical at first. How can you care deeply for someone without becoming attached? How can you love without clinging? The Stoics understood that true connection does not require possession or control. Instead, it flourishes in an environment of mutual respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to growth. By practicing detachment, you don't distance yourself from others. Rather, you create the space needed for genuine connection, free from the distortions of neediness or fear. Consider the moments in your life when relationships have brought you both joy and pain. Perhaps you've felt the sting of disappointment when someone didn't meet your expectations, or the anxiety of worrying about losing someone you care about. What if you could approach these relationships with a mindset of Stoic detachment, valuing the connection for what it is, rather than trying to mold it into what you think it should be? By embracing this perspective, you can build relationships that are resilient, supportive, and grounded in the reality of who you both are, rather than the fantasy of who you wish the other person could be. Building Stoic relationships means learning to love others as they are, without trying to change or control them. It means recognizing that each person is on their own journey, with their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences that are beyond your control. This understanding fosters a deep sense of respect for the individuality of others and allows you to support their growth and happiness without becoming entangled in the need to direct their lives. In romantic relationships, this approach can be particularly powerful. Romantic love often carries the potential for deep attachment, and with it, the risk of emotional turbulence. By practicing Stoic detachment, you can love your partner fully while also recognizing that their thoughts, feelings, and actions are their own. This doesn't mean you care less. It means you love in a way that respects both their autonomy and your own. It allows you to support each other's growth without the pressure to fulfill every need or expectation. Friendships, too, benefit from the Stoic approach. Friendships can be some of the most rewarding and supportive relationships in our lives, but they can also be sources of conflict or disappointment if expectations and attachments become too rigid. By cultivating detachment, you can enjoy your friends for who they are, without the need for them to conform to your ideals or to always be available on your terms. This creates a more relaxed, accepting atmosphere where both you and your friends can thrive. In family relationships, where ties can run deep and emotions can be intense, the practice of Stoic detachment offers a way to maintain harmony and balance. Families often come with expectations, obligations, and a sense of duty that can sometimes feel overwhelming. By embracing detachment, you can fulfill your responsibilities with love and care, without losing yourself in the process. You can offer support without feeling the need to control or fix every problem, and you can love your family members without being consumed by their struggles or demands. The workplace, too, is an arena where Stoic relationships can flourish. Professional relationships are often fraught with competition, misunderstandings, and the pressure to perform. By practicing Stoic detachment, you can engage with your colleagues in a way that is respectful, collaborative, and grounded in mutual respect, without getting caught up in office politics or the need for constant validation. This approach not only enhances your professional relationships, but also helps you maintain your focus and integrity in a challenging environment. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves letting go of the need for approval or validation from others. The Stoics taught that true contentment comes from within, not from external sources. By letting go of the need for others' approval, you can interact with others from a place of authenticity and confidence rather than insecurity or neediness. This creates relationships that are more genuine, where you can be yourself without the pressure to please or conform. Detachment also involves embracing the impermanence of relationships. The Stoics understood that all things in life are temporary, including relationships. By accepting this impermanence, you can appreciate your relationships for what they are without the fear of losing them. This doesn't mean you care less or that you don't invest in your relationships, but rather that you approach them with a sense of presence and appreciation, knowing that they are part of the natural flow of life. Incorporating Stoic principles into your relationships also involves practicing empathy and compassion. While Stoic detachment encourages you to let go of attachment, it doesn't mean becoming indifferent or uncaring. On the contrary, the Stoics believed in the importance of understanding and caring for others. By practicing empathy, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences without becoming attached to the outcomes. Another key aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of effective communication. Stoic communication involves being clear, honest, and respectful in your interactions with others. It means expressing your thoughts and feelings without the need to manipulate or control the conversation. By communicating in a way that is open and authentic, you can build trust and understanding in your relationships, while also maintaining your own boundaries and integrity. Stoic relationships are also grounded in the practice of mutual respect. Respect involves recognizing and honoring the autonomy of others, as well as your own. It means valuing the individuality and uniqueness of each person without trying to impose your will or expectations on them. By practicing respect, you can create relationships that are based on equality, trust, and a shared commitment to each other's well-being. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your own well-being, while also respecting the needs and autonomy of others. By setting clear and healthy boundaries, you can protect yourself from becoming overly involved in others' lives or from taking on responsibilities that are not yours. This allows you to maintain your own sense of self while still being there for others in a supportive and caring way. Another important aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness involves letting go of grudges, resentment, or anger toward others, and instead choosing to move forward with compassion and understanding. By practicing forgiveness, you can release the negative emotions that can weigh down your relationships and create space for healing and growth. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather letting go of the need to hold on to the past and choosing to approach others with a sense of grace and compassion. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of self-awareness. Self-awareness involves being mindful of your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and understanding how they impact your relationships. By cultivating self-awareness, you can recognize when you are becoming attached, when you are placing unrealistic expectations on others, or when you are allowing your own insecurities to affect your relationships. This awareness allows you to make conscious choices in your interactions with others and to approach your relationships with greater wisdom and clarity. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude involves appreciating the people in your life and recognizing the positive aspects of your relationships. By practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus from what is lacking or what you wish were different to what is already good and meaningful in your relationships. This practice helps to strengthen your connections with others and to cultivate a sense of contentment and appreciation in your relationships. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves embracing the concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. Amor fati means accepting and embracing whatever happens in your life, including in your relationships, with grace and equanimity. By practicing amor fati, you can let go of the need to control or direct the course of your relationships, and instead trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. This acceptance allows you to approach your relationships with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Another important aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of compassion. Compassion involves understanding and caring for others, even in the face of their flaws or mistakes. By practicing compassion, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences without becoming attached to the outcomes. This practice helps to strengthen your relationships and to create a sense of mutual support and understanding. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of patience. Patience involves accepting that relationships may not always progress or unfold according to your timeline or expectations. By practicing patience, you can reduce the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to force or rush relationships, and instead allow them to develop naturally at their own pace. This patience allows you to trust in the process of your relationships and to find peace in the present moment, even when things are not going according to plan. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance involves acknowledging and embracing the reality of your relationships without trying to change or resist it. This doesn't mean that you passively accept harmful behavior or unhealthy dynamics, but rather that you accept what is, while focusing on what you can change. By practicing acceptance, you can reduce the stress and frustration that come from trying to control or fix your relationships, and instead focus your energy on what you can do to improve them. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves letting go of the need for perfection. The Stoics understood that perfection is an illusion, and that all human beings, including ourselves, are flawed and imperfect. By letting go of the need for perfection in yourself and others, you can approach your relationships with greater acceptance and compassion and create space for growth and learning. This practice allows you to build relationships that are based on authenticity rather than on unrealistic expectations or ideals. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of humility. Humility involves recognizing and accepting your own limitations, as well as the limitations of others. By practicing humility, you can approach your relationships with a sense of openness and curiosity, rather than with a need to control or dominate. This humility allows you to learn from others, to appreciate their unique perspectives and experiences, and to build relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. Another important aspect of Stoic relationships is the practice of resilience. Resilience involves the ability to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, or difficulties in your relationships. By practicing resilience, you can approach your relationships with a sense of strength and determination, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. This resilience allows you to navigate the ups and downs of your relationships with grace and confidence, and to build relationships that are strong and enduring. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves cultivating a sense of independence. Independence involves maintaining your own sense of self and identity, even within the context of your relationships. By cultivating independence, you can build relationships that are based on mutual respect and support, rather than on dependency or neediness. This independence allows you to connect with others from a place of strength and confidence, rather than from a place of insecurity or fear. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of empathy. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others and approaching your relationships with a sense of compassion and understanding. By practicing empathy, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences. This empathy allows you to build relationships that are based on mutual support and understanding, and to approach your relationships with a sense of kindness and care. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of trust. Trust involves believing in the integrity and reliability of others, as well as in your own ability to navigate your relationships. By practicing trust, you can build relationships that are based on mutual respect and confidence, rather than on suspicion or control. This trust allows you to approach your relationships with a sense of openness and vulnerability, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves letting go of the need for approval or validation from others. The Stoics taught that true contentment comes from within, not from external sources. By letting go of the need for others' approval, you can interact with others from a place of authenticity and confidence, rather than insecurity or neediness. This creates relationships that are more genuine, where you can be yourself without the pressure to please or conform. Detachment also involves embracing the impermanence of relationships. The Stoics understood that all things in life are temporary, including relationships. By accepting this impermanence, you can appreciate your relationships for what they are, without the fear of losing them. This doesn't mean you care less, or that you don't invest in your relationships, but rather that you approach them with a sense of presence and appreciation, knowing that they are part of the natural flow of life. Incorporating Stoic principles into your relationships also involves practicing empathy and compassion. While Stoic detachment encourages you to let go of attachment, it doesn't mean becoming indifferent or uncaring. On the contrary, the Stoics believed in the importance of understanding and caring for others. By practicing empathy, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences without becoming attached to the outcomes. Another key aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of effective communication. Stoic communication involves being clear, honest, and respectful in your interactions with others. It means expressing your thoughts and feelings without the need to manipulate or control the conversation. By communicating in a way that is open and authentic, you can build trust and understanding in your relationships, while also maintaining your own boundaries and integrity. Stoic relationships are also grounded in the practice of mutual respect. Respect involves recognizing and honoring the autonomy of others, as well as your own. It means valuing the individuality and uniqueness of each person without trying to impose your will or expectations on them. By practicing respect, you can create relationships that are based on equality, trust, and a shared commitment to each other's well-being. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your own well-being, while also respecting the needs and autonomy of others. By setting clear and healthy boundaries, you can protect yourself from becoming overly involved in others' lives or from taking on responsibilities that are not yours. This allows you to maintain your own sense of self while still being there for others in a supportive and caring way. Another important aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness involves letting go of grudges, resentment, or anger toward others, and instead choosing to move forward with compassion and understanding. By practicing forgiveness, you can release the negative emotions that can weigh down your relationships and create space for healing and growth. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather letting go of the need to hold on to the past and choosing to approach others with a sense of grace and compassion. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of self-awareness. Self-awareness involves being mindful of your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and understanding how they impact your relationships. By cultivating self-awareness, you can recognize when you are becoming attached, when you are placing unrealistic expectations on others, or when you are allowing your own insecurities to affect your relationships. This awareness allows you to make conscious choices in your interactions with others and to approach your relationships with greater wisdom and clarity. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude involves appreciating the people in your life and recognizing the positive aspects of your relationships. By practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus from what is lacking or what you wish were different to what is already good and meaningful in your relationships. This practice helps to strengthen your connections with others and to cultivate a sense of contentment and appreciation in your relationships. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves embracing the concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. Amor fati means accepting and embracing whatever happens in your life, including in your relationships, with grace and equanimity. By practicing amor fati, you can let go of the need to control or direct the course of your relationships, and instead trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. This acceptance allows you to approach your relationships with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. Another important aspect of building Stoic relationships is the practice of compassion. Compassion involves understanding and caring for others, even in the face of their flaws or mistakes. By practicing compassion, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences without becoming attached to the outcomes. This practice helps to strengthen your relationships and to create a sense of mutual support and understanding. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of patience. Patience involves accepting that relationships may not always progress or unfold according to your timeline or expectations. By practicing patience, you can reduce the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to force or rush relationships, and instead allow them to develop naturally at their own pace. This patience allows you to trust in the process of your relationships and to find peace in the present moment, even when things are not going according to plan. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance involves acknowledging and embracing the reality of your relationships without trying to change or resist it. This doesn't mean that you passively accept harmful behavior or unhealthy dynamics, but rather that you accept what is, while focusing on what you can change. By practicing acceptance, you can reduce the stress and frustration that come from trying to control or fix your relationships, and instead focus your energy on what you can do to improve them. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves letting go of the need for perfection. The Stoics understood that perfection is an illusion, and that all human beings, including ourselves, are flawed and imperfect. By letting go of the need for perfection in yourself and others, you can approach your relationships with greater acceptance and compassion and create space for growth and learning. This practice allows you to build relationships that are based on authenticity rather than on unrealistic expectations or ideals. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of humility. Humility involves recognizing and accepting your own limitations as well as the limitations of others. By practicing humility, you can approach your relationships with a sense of openness and curiosity, rather than with a need to control or dominate. This humility allows you to learn from others, to appreciate their unique perspectives and experiences, and to build relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. Another important aspect of Stoic relationships is the practice of resilience. Resilience involves the ability to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, or difficulties in your relationships. By practicing resilience, you can approach your relationships with a sense of strength and determination, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. This resilience allows you to navigate the ups and downs of your relationships with grace and confidence, and to build relationships that are strong and enduring. The practice of Stoic detachment in relationships also involves cultivating a sense of independence. Independence involves maintaining your own sense of self and identity, even within the context of your relationships. By cultivating independence, you can build relationships that are based on mutual respect and support, rather than on dependency or neediness. This independence allows you to connect with others from a place of strength and confidence, rather than from a place of insecurity or fear. Building Stoic relationships also requires the practice of empathy. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, and approaching your relationships with a sense of compassion and understanding. By practicing empathy, you can connect with others on a deeper level, recognizing their humanity and sharing in their experiences. This empathy allows you to build relationships that are based on mutual support and understanding, and to approach your relationships with a sense of kindness and care. Another key element of Stoic relationships is the practice of trust. Trust involves believing in the integrity and reliability of others, as well as in your own ability to navigate your relationships. By practicing trust, you can build relationships that are based on mutual respect and confidence, rather than on suspicion or control. This trust allows you to approach your relationships with a sense of openness and vulnerability, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. By focusing on what you can control, your own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, you create a foundation of strength and clarity that allows you to build connections that are both meaningful and resilient. In these relationships, love and respect flow freely, unburdened by the weight of unrealistic expectations or the need for validation. By practicing Stoic detachment, you can love more deeply, connect more genuinely, and create relationships that are both fulfilling and enduring. Through this journey, you will discover that Stoic detachment doesn't distance you from others. It brings you closer, allowing you to connect from a place of wholeness and strength. By letting go of the need to control or cling, you open yourself up to the true beauty of connection, one that is free, authentic, and deeply fulfilling. This is the promise of Stoic relationships: to connect deeply without attachment, to love fully without losing yourself, and to build bonds that are rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and shared growth. As you've explored the principles of building Stoic relationships, forming deep connections while maintaining your sense of self, you've uncovered the profound balance that Stoicism offers in navigating human interactions. But relationships, no matter how well balanced, inevitably bring with them moments of stress, tension, and confusion. How do you stay grounded when emotions run high? How do you maintain clarity when the complexities of life cloud your mind? The answer lies in another cornerstone of Stoic practice: meditation. Not the kind that asks you to empty your mind, but a series of reflective practices that bring calmness and clarity, helping you to navigate life's challenges with a steady heart and a clear head. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of inner peace, ready to face the day with calmness and purpose. Imagine carrying that peace with you, even in the midst of chaos, conflict, or uncertainty. This is not some unattainable ideal. It is the fruit of Stoic meditation, a practice that has guided countless individuals through the storms of life, offering them the clarity to see what truly matters and the calmness to respond with wisdom and grace. Stoic meditation is not about escaping the world or withdrawing into silence. It's about engaging with life more fully, armed with the tools to manage your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. It's about taking a moment to step back, to reflect, and to center yourself so that you can meet life's demands, not with reactivity, but with intention and purpose. Whether you're dealing with a difficult conversation, making a tough decision, or simply trying to keep your mind focused amidst a flurry of distractions, Stoic meditation offers a way to regain your balance and keep your mind clear. These meditations are not reserved for moments of crisis. They are designed to be woven into the fabric of your daily life, providing a constant source of strength and clarity. Through these practices, you'll learn how to cultivate a state of calm that isn't shaken by external circumstances, how to see through the noise of the world to the heart of what matters, and how to approach each day with a sense of groundedness and peace. You might wonder, what exactly does Stoic meditation involve? Unlike other forms of meditation that might focus on emptying the mind or achieving a state of bliss, Stoic meditation is deeply practical. It's about reflecting on your thoughts, actions, and experiences in a way that brings you closer to the Stoic ideals of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about questioning your assumptions, challenging your fears, and preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for whatever life may throw your way. Picture yourself at the end of a long day, feeling overwhelmed by the stresses and challenges you've faced. Instead of letting those feelings fester, you sit down to reflect. You consider what went well and what didn't. You acknowledge your emotions without letting them control you, and you remind yourself of what truly matters. This simple act of reflection can transform your state of mind, turning confusion into clarity and tension into tranquility. It's a powerful practice that not only calms the mind, but also sharpens it, allowing you to move forward with renewed focus and determination. But Stoic meditation isn't just for the end of the day. It can be a morning ritual that sets the tone for the hours ahead, a midday practice to recenter yourself, or a way to wind down in the evening. It's a flexible, adaptable tool that you can use whenever you need it, whether you're facing a major life decision or simply trying to navigate the small challenges of daily life. By incorporating these meditative practices into your routine, you can cultivate a state of mind that is calm, clear, and resilient, ready to meet the world with a steady heart and a focused mind. One of the most well-known Stoic meditations is the practice of negative visualization, also known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This exercise involves vividly imagining the loss of the things you cherish, your health, your loved ones, your possessions, or even your life. While this might sound unsettling, the purpose is not to dwell on morbid thoughts, but to prepare your mind for potential losses and to cultivate a deep appreciation for what you currently have. By regularly practicing negative visualization, you develop resilience against potential misfortunes and strengthen your gratitude for the present. It's a way to confront your fears head-on and to reduce their power over you. This meditation reminds you that everything you have is temporary, which helps you appreciate your life more fully and lets go of the illusion of permanence. Another powerful Stoic meditation is the view from above, which involves imagining yourself from a high vantage point, perhaps from a mountaintop or even from space, looking down on your life and all its concerns. From this perspective, the problems that seem overwhelming when you're in the midst of them begin to appear much smaller and more manageable. This exercise helps you gain perspective, reminding you that your individual worries are just a small part of a much larger whole. The view from above allows you to see your life in the context of the broader universe, fostering a sense of humility and helping you to detach from the intense emotions that often accompany day-to-day challenges. It's a reminder that, in the grand scheme of things, most of our worries are insignificant, and this realization can bring immense calm and clarity. Mindful gratitude is another essential Stoic meditation practice. While gratitude might seem simple, the Stoics saw it as a profound tool for cultivating a resilient and contented mind. This meditation involves taking time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, both big and small. Whether it's the support of a friend, the warmth of the sun, or simply the fact that you're alive, practicing mindful gratitude shifts your focus away from what you lack and towards what you have. This not only fosters contentment, but also builds emotional resilience. Gratitude, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about acknowledging what's good in your life. It's about deeply appreciating it and recognizing that it's all temporary, which encourages you to savor it more fully while you have it. Another valuable practice is the evening reflection, or self-examination, a technique that Marcus Aurelius often employed. This involves taking a few moments at the end of each day to review your actions, thoughts, and emotions. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve tomorrow? This reflective meditation is not about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. It's a chance to learn from your day, to acknowledge your successes, and to identify areas where you can grow. By making this a regular practice, you develop greater self-understanding and cultivate the ability to respond to challenges with more wisdom and clarity. Voluntary discomfort is another Stoic meditation technique that involves intentionally putting yourself in situations that are mildly uncomfortable or challenging. This might mean taking a cold shower, fasting for a day, or sleeping on the floor instead of your bed. The purpose of this practice is to build mental and physical resilience by training yourself to endure discomfort without complaint. It's a way to prepare yourself for the inevitable hardships of life, making you more adaptable and less dependent on comfort. Voluntary discomfort also helps you appreciate the comforts you do have, fostering a greater sense of gratitude and contentment in your daily life. Another Stoic meditation technique is memento mori, the contemplation of death. Far from being morbid, this practice is intended to remind you of the finite nature of life, encouraging you to live more fully and intentionally. By regularly reflecting on your mortality, you are reminded that your time is limited and precious, which helps you to prioritize what truly matters and to let go of trivial concerns. Memento mori is a powerful tool for cultivating presence, focus, and a deep appreciation for the time you have. It helps you to live with greater intention, making the most of each moment and ensuring that your actions align with your deepest values. Amor fati, or the love of fate, is another Stoic meditation that involves embracing everything that happens in your life, both good and bad, as necessary and valuable. This practice encourages you to view every experience, no matter how challenging, as an opportunity for growth and learning. By cultivating amor fati, you develop a mindset that is open and accepting of whatever comes your way, reducing resistance and increasing resilience. This meditation helps you to let go of the desire to control or change the world around you, and instead to focus on how you can respond to life's events with wisdom and grace. It's about embracing your fate with love and gratitude, knowing that every experience is an essential part of your journey. Focus on the present is another key Stoic meditation, which involves training your mind to stay in the here and now, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. The Stoics understood that the present moment is the only time we truly have, and that most of our suffering comes from either regretting the past or fearing the future. This meditation involves regularly reminding yourself to stay present, to focus on the task at hand, and to fully engage with whatever you are doing. By cultivating this focus, you can reduce anxiety, increase your effectiveness, and find greater peace in your daily life. It's a practice that helps you to live more fully and intentionally, making the most of each moment as it arises. The dichotomy of control is a fundamental Stoic meditation that involves regularly reminding yourself of what is within your control and what is not. The Stoics taught that we should focus our energy on the things we can influence, our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while accepting the things that are beyond our control, such as other people's actions, external events, and outcomes. By practicing this meditation, you can reduce unnecessary stress and frustration, and instead direct your energy towards what you can change. This practice fosters a sense of calm and empowerment, helping you to navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and effectiveness. It's a reminder that while you cannot control everything, you can control how you respond, and that this response is where your true power lies. Finally, the practice of metta bhavana, or the cultivation of loving kindness, though not originally Stoic, aligns closely with Stoic values and can be incorporated into your meditation routine. This practice involves developing feelings of compassion and love towards yourself and others, including those with whom you have conflicts. By focusing on these positive emotions, you can reduce feelings of anger, resentment, and hostility, and instead cultivate a sense of peace, understanding, and connection. Metta bhavana encourages you to see the common humanity in everyone, fostering empathy and kindness in your interactions. This meditation helps to build stronger, more compassionate relationships, both with yourself and with others, and contributes to a sense of calmness and clarity in your daily life. Each of these Stoic meditations serves a specific purpose, helping you to cultivate calmness and clarity in different aspects of your life. By integrating these practices into your daily routine, you can develop a resilient, focused, and peaceful mind, capable of navigating life's challenges with wisdom and grace. Imagine beginning your day with a moment of gratitude, acknowledging the simple blessings in your life, and then moving into a brief reflection on what you can control. As you go through your day, you might pause to practice mindfulness, bringing your attention back to the present moment when you find your mind drifting towards worries about the future or regrets about the past. When faced with a difficult situation, you might take a moment to visualize the worst-case scenario, preparing your mind to accept whatever comes and reminding yourself that you have the strength to handle it. At the end of the day, you could spend a few minutes reflecting on your actions, considering what went well and what could be improved, and then let go of any lingering stress by practicing loving kindness towards yourself and others. These simple practices can be woven into the fabric of your daily life, providing you with a constant source of calmness and clarity no matter what challenges you face. They help to keep you grounded, focused, and resilient, enabling you to live each day with intention, wisdom, and peace. As you continue on your Stoic journey, these meditative practices will become an essential part of your toolkit, helping you to cultivate the qualities that define a Stoic mind: resilience in the face of adversity, clarity in the midst of confusion, and peace in the midst of chaos. By practicing these meditations regularly, you can build a strong, calm, and clear mind, capable of handling whatever life throws your way with grace and wisdom. Stoic meditation is not about achieving a state of perfect calm or complete clarity. It's about developing the tools and habits that allow you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and effectiveness. It's about learning to see the world through the lens of Stoic wisdom, to approach each moment with a sense of calm and clarity, and to cultivate a state of inner peace that remains with you, no matter what challenges you face. As you integrate these meditative practices into your daily routine, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset and in how you respond to the world around you. You'll find that you're more grounded, more focused, and more at peace, even in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. You'll discover that, no matter what happens, you have the tools to remain calm, clear-headed, and resilient. These meditations are not just exercises. They are a way of life, a path to greater wisdom, resilience, and peace. They are a means of cultivating the calmness and clarity that are essential for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. By practicing these meditations regularly, you'll develop the ability to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace, to stay focused on what truly matters, and to find peace in every moment. So, as you continue on your Stoic journey, embrace these meditative practices as a way to deepen your connection to the Stoic ideals, to cultivate a sense of calmness and clarity in your daily life, and to find peace and purpose in every moment. Through Stoic meditation, you'll discover the power of a calm and clear mind, the peace that comes from inner resilience, and the clarity that guides you through life's challenges with wisdom and grace. These meditations will become your anchor in the storm, your source of strength in difficult times, and your guide to living a life of wisdom, purpose, and peace. Through Stoic meditation, you can cultivate the qualities that define a Stoic mind: resilience in the face of adversity, clarity in the midst of confusion, and peace in the midst of chaos. These practices will help you to stay grounded in your values, to see through the distractions and noise of the world, and to approach each moment with a sense of calmness and clarity. Whether you're facing a major life challenge or simply navigating the everyday stresses of life, Stoic meditation will be your guide, helping you to find peace and purpose in every moment. As you continue to explore the principles of Stoicism, these meditative practices will become an essential part of your journey. They will help you to embody the Stoic ideals in your daily life, to navigate challenges with confidence, and to find peace and clarity in a world that often feels anything but peaceful. Through Stoic meditation, you can cultivate a mind that is as clear as it is calm, a heart that is as peaceful as it is courageous, and a life that is as purposeful as it is serene. Imagine the sense of empowerment that comes from knowing that, no matter what happens in your life, you have the tools to remain calm, centered, and clear-headed. Imagine approaching each day with a sense of confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way with grace and wisdom. This is the power of Stoic meditation, a practice that not only calms the mind, but also fortifies it, allowing you to live each day with intention, clarity, and peace. Through these meditations, you'll learn to cultivate the qualities that define a Stoic mind: resilience in the face of adversity, clarity in the midst of confusion, and peace in the midst of chaos. These practices will help you to stay grounded in your values, to see through the distractions and noise of the world, and to approach each moment with a sense of calmness and clarity. Whether you're facing a major life challenge or simply navigating the everyday stresses of life, Stoic meditation will be your guide, helping you to find peace and purpose in every moment. As you embark on this journey of Stoic meditation, remember that it is not about achieving perfection or reaching some ideal state of mind. It's about practicing, reflecting, and growing day by day, moment by moment. It's about learning to see the world through the lens of Stoic wisdom, to approach life with a calm and clear mind, and to cultivate a state of inner peace that remains with you, no matter what challenges you face. So, as you continue on your Stoic journey, embrace these meditative practices as a way to deepen your connection to the Stoic ideals, to cultivate a sense of calmness and clarity in your daily life, and to find peace and purpose in every moment. Through Stoic meditation, you'll discover the power of a calm and clear mind, the peace that comes from inner resilience, and the clarity that guides you through life's challenges with wisdom and grace. These meditations will become your anchor in the storm, your source of strength in difficult times, and your guide to living a life of wisdom, purpose, and peace. Through Stoic meditation, you can cultivate a mind that is as clear as it is calm, a heart that is as peaceful as it is courageous, and a life that is as purposeful as it is serene. Having explored the practice of Stoic meditation and its capacity to bring calmness and clarity to your daily life, you may have felt a deep sense of inner peace, a grounding in something more enduring than the fleeting circumstances around you. This state of mind is invaluable, especially in a world that often measures success by external achievements, by wealth, status, and the accumulation of material goods. But as you move forward, a crucial question arises. How do you navigate the pursuit of success and wealth without losing sight of your true self? How do you balance the drive for achievement with the Stoic principles that have anchored you? In our society, wealth and success are often held up as the ultimate goals, symbols of a life well lived. The pressure to succeed, to climb the ladder of prosperity, can be overwhelming, driving us to make sacrifices that, in hindsight, may seem all too costly. It's easy to lose yourself in the chase, to let your values slip, and to find that the very things you've worked so hard to gain have come at the expense of your peace of mind, your relationships, or your integrity. The Stoics offer a different perspective, a way to pursue success without losing your soul in the process. Imagine a life where you can strive for your goals, achieve financial security, and enjoy the fruits of your labor, all while maintaining your inner peace and staying true to your core values. Imagine being able to navigate the competitive world of business and finance with wisdom and grace, unshaken by the ups and downs of fortune, and free from the anxiety that so often accompanies the pursuit of wealth. This is not just a dream. It's a way of living that the Stoics believed was not only possible, but essential. The Stoic approach to wealth and success is not about rejecting material prosperity or shunning ambition. Rather, it's about understanding the true nature of wealth and ensuring that your pursuit of it aligns with your deeper values and purpose. It's about recognizing that while money and success can bring comfort and opportunity, they are not the ultimate sources of happiness or fulfillment. The Stoics teach us that real wealth is found in the contentment that comes from living in accordance with our principles, and that success is measured not by the size of our bank accounts, but by the strength of our character. Consider the times when you felt driven to succeed, perhaps at the expense of your health, your relationships, or your peace of mind. What if you could pursue your goals with the same energy and determination, but without the stress, anxiety, or fear of failure? What if you could build a life of prosperity and achievement while still maintaining the balance and serenity that Stoic practice has taught you? This is the promise of Stoicism in the pursuit of wealth, a path that allows you to achieve your external goals without sacrificing your internal peace. One of the key insights the Stoics offer is the distinction between what is in our control and what is not. Wealth, they remind us, is an external good. It can be pursued and enjoyed, but it is ultimately beyond our full control. Markets fluctuate, economies change, and fortunes can be made or lost in an instant. By recognizing this, the Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our decisions, and our attitudes. In doing so, we can approach the pursuit of wealth with a sense of purpose and clarity without becoming enslaved by it. The Stoics also warn against the dangers of attachment, particularly to material goods and external success. While it's natural to enjoy the comforts that wealth can bring, the Stoics remind us that true contentment comes from within, not from external sources. By cultivating a mindset of detachment, you can enjoy wealth without becoming attached to it, maintaining your inner peace regardless of whether you gain or lose material possessions. This detachment doesn't mean you care less about your success. Rather, it means you're not defined by it, and you don't allow it to dictate your sense of self-worth. Imagine approaching your career and financial goals with a sense of calm confidence, free from the fear of failure or the anxiety of losing what you've gained. Imagine being able to make decisions based on your values rather than on the pressures of external expectations. This is the freedom that comes from practicing Stoicism in the pursuit of wealth, a freedom that allows you to achieve your goals without being consumed by them. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of living in accordance with nature, which means aligning your actions with your true purpose and the natural flow of life. In the context of wealth and success, this means ensuring that your pursuit of material goals is in harmony with your deeper values and aspirations. It means asking yourself, why do I want to achieve this? What is the purpose of my success? By reflecting on these questions, you can ensure that your pursuit of wealth is not just about accumulating more, but about building a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with your core values. In practical terms, this might mean setting financial goals that are not just about maximizing wealth, but about creating the conditions for a life of balance, fulfillment, and purpose. It might involve making career choices that align with your values, even if they don't lead to the highest possible income. It might mean being generous with your wealth, using it to support causes that you care about, or to help others in need. By aligning your pursuit of wealth with your deeper values, you can achieve success that is not only financially rewarding, but also personally meaningful. The Stoics also teach us the value of temperance or moderation in the pursuit of wealth. While it's natural to want to succeed, the Stoics remind us that more is not always better. By practicing moderation, you can avoid the trap of endless striving and the stress that comes with it. Instead, you can enjoy the wealth you have without constantly feeling the need for more. This doesn't mean you stop pursuing your goals, but rather that you do so with a sense of balance, knowing when enough is enough and appreciating what you have. Another important aspect of Stoicism in the context of wealth is the practice of gratitude. The Stoics understood that true wealth is not about how much you have, but about how much you appreciate what you have. By practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have, fostering a sense of contentment and fulfillment. This gratitude not only enhances your well-being, but also makes you more resilient in the face of financial challenges, helping you to maintain your peace of mind even when times are tough. Gratitude also plays a key role in helping you maintain perspective on wealth. The Stoics remind us that money and material success are temporary and subject to change. By cultivating gratitude, you can appreciate the wealth you have without becoming overly attached to it. This perspective allows you to enjoy your success while remaining grounded, knowing that your true value lies not in your material possessions, but in your character and the way you live your life. The practice of gratitude also extends to your work and the opportunities it provides. Instead of viewing your career as a means to an end, simply a way to make money, the Stoics encourage you to see it as a valuable part of your life's journey. By appreciating the opportunities, challenges, and experiences that come with your work, you can find greater fulfillment in your career and approach it with a sense of purpose and meaning. Another Stoic principle that is particularly relevant to the pursuit of wealth is the concept of justice. The Stoics believed that true success is not just about personal gain, but about contributing to the greater good. This means conducting your business and financial affairs with integrity, fairness, and a sense of responsibility to others. It means ensuring that your pursuit of wealth does not come at the expense of others, and that you use your success to make a positive impact on the world. In practice, this might involve making ethical choices in your business dealings, treating your employees and colleagues with respect, and using your wealth to support causes that benefit others. It might mean being a responsible steward of your resources, ensuring that your success contributes to the well-being of your community and the environment. By aligning your pursuit of wealth with the principles of justice, you can achieve success that is not only financially rewarding, but also morally fulfilling. The Stoics also teach us the importance of resilience in the face of financial challenges. Wealth and success are often accompanied by risks, uncertainties, and setbacks. The Stoics remind us that these challenges are an inevitable part of life, and that true success lies not in avoiding them, but in how we respond to them. By cultivating resilience, you can navigate financial challenges with grace and determination, using them as opportunities for growth and learning. Resilience involves maintaining a sense of perspective in the face of setbacks, recognizing that they are temporary and that you have the strength to overcome them. It also involves staying focused on your long-term goals, even when the path is difficult, and not allowing short-term challenges to derail your progress. By practicing resilience, you can build a strong foundation for long-term success, one that is based on inner strength and determination rather than external circumstances. Another key aspect of Stoicism in the pursuit of wealth is the practice of humility. The Stoics remind us that success, while desirable, does not make us better or more valuable than others. By practicing humility, you can stay grounded and maintain a sense of perspective, recognizing that your wealth and success are not solely the result of your own efforts, but also the result of factors beyond your control. This humility allows you to approach your success with gratitude and a sense of responsibility, rather than arrogance or entitlement. Humility also involves recognizing that wealth and success are not the ultimate goals of life, but rather tools that can be used to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. By keeping this perspective, you can avoid the trap of becoming consumed by the pursuit of wealth and instead focus on what truly matters, living in accordance with your values, contributing to the well-being of others, and finding fulfillment in your relationships and personal growth. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-discipline in the pursuit of wealth. Self-discipline involves maintaining focus and control over your actions and decisions, even in the face of temptation or distraction. In the context of wealth, this might mean resisting the urge to spend extravagantly, to chase after quick gains, or to engage in unethical behavior in the pursuit of success. By practicing self-discipline, you can stay true to your values and make decisions that are aligned with your long-term goals, rather than being swayed by short-term temptations. Self-discipline also involves setting clear goals and priorities, and staying committed to them even when the path is challenging. This might mean making sacrifices in the short term in order to achieve your long-term goals, or staying focused on your work even when it's difficult or unglamorous. By cultivating self-discipline, you can build the habits and practices that are necessary for long-term success, and ensure that your pursuit of wealth is guided by wisdom and intention rather than impulse or greed. Another important aspect of Stoicism in the pursuit of wealth is the practice of detachment from outcomes. The Stoics remind us that while we can control our actions and decisions, we cannot control the outcomes of those actions. By practicing detachment from outcomes, you can focus on doing your best in the present moment, without becoming overly attached to the results. This detachment allows you to pursue your goals with determination and focus, while maintaining a sense of inner peace and balance, regardless of the outcome. Detachment from outcomes also involves letting go of the fear of failure. The Stoics teach that failure is not something to be feared, but rather a natural part of the learning process. By letting go of the fear of failure, you can approach your goals with a sense of courage and resilience, knowing that setbacks and challenges are opportunities for growth and learning. This mindset allows you to pursue your goals with greater confidence and determination, without being paralyzed by the fear of what might go wrong. The Stoics also encourage us to practice generosity in the pursuit of wealth. Generosity involves using your resources to support others and to contribute to the greater good. By practicing generosity, you can create a sense of abundance in your life, knowing that your wealth is not just for your own benefit, but also for the benefit of others. This generosity can take many forms, from charitable giving to mentoring others, to simply being generous with your time and attention. By cultivating a spirit of generosity, you can create a sense of purpose and fulfillment in your pursuit of wealth, knowing that your success is making a positive impact on the world. Generosity also involves recognizing the interconnectedness of all people and understanding that your success is not solely your own, but is also the result of the support and contributions of others. By practicing generosity, you can build stronger relationships and create a sense of community and connection in your life. This generosity not only enhances your own well-being, but also contributes to the well-being of others, creating a positive cycle of giving and receiving. Another key aspect of Stoicism in the context of wealth is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment and paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and actions. By practicing mindfulness, you can become more aware of your motivations and intentions in the pursuit of wealth and ensure that your actions are aligned with your values. This mindfulness also allows you to recognize when you are becoming attached to material success and to bring your focus back to what truly matters. Mindfulness also involves being aware of the impact of your actions on others and on the world around you. By practicing mindfulness, you can make more conscious and ethical decisions in the pursuit of wealth and ensure that your success contributes to the greater good. This mindfulness helps you to stay grounded and connected to your values, even in the midst of the pressures and challenges of the pursuit of wealth. The Stoics also teach us the importance of living with purpose in the pursuit of wealth. Purpose involves having a clear sense of direction and meaning in your life, and ensuring that your actions are aligned with that purpose. By living with purpose, you can pursue wealth in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling, rather than simply chasing after material success for its own sake. This sense of purpose also helps you to stay focused on what truly matters, and to avoid getting caught up in the distractions and temptations of the pursuit of wealth. Purpose also involves recognizing that wealth is not an end in itself, but rather a means to an end, a tool that can be used to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. By keeping this perspective, you can ensure that your pursuit of wealth is guided by a sense of purpose and intention, rather than by a desire for more material possessions or status. This purpose helps you to stay grounded and focused on what truly matters, and to create a life that is rich in meaning and fulfillment. In conclusion, the Stoic approach to wealth and success is not about rejecting material prosperity or shunning ambition, but about pursuing these goals in a way that is aligned with your deeper values and purpose. By practicing detachment, gratitude, justice, resilience, humility, self-discipline, generosity, mindfulness, and purpose, you can achieve success without losing your soul in the process. You can build a life of prosperity and achievement that is not only financially rewarding, but also personally meaningful and fulfilling. Through the practice of Stoicism, you can navigate the pursuit of wealth with wisdom and grace, ensuring that your success is not just about accumulating more, but about creating a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. You can achieve your financial goals without sacrificing your inner peace, and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor without becoming attached to them. By integrating these Stoic principles into your pursuit of wealth, you can create a life that is not only successful, but also deeply rewarding and aligned with your true self. As you continue on your Stoic journey, remember that wealth and success are not the ultimate goals of life, but rather tools that can be used to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. By practicing Stoicism in the pursuit of wealth, you can achieve success without losing your soul and create a life that is both prosperous and purposeful, grounded in wisdom, integrity, and inner peace. Having explored how Stoicism can guide you in the pursuit of wealth and success without compromising your values, you've seen how the principles of detachment, gratitude, and purpose can bring balance and fulfillment to your life. But as you strive for success, whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth, one challenge is inevitable: criticism. No matter how carefully you live, how well you perform, or how kindly you treat others, there will always be those who offer negative feedback, often with the potential to sting. So, how do you remain unaffected by criticism while still growing and learning from it? How do you keep your peace and confidence intact when faced with harsh words or judgment? Criticism can be a double-edged sword. On one side, it has the potential to offer valuable insights, guiding us toward improvement and growth. On the other, it can wound, sowing seeds of doubt and insecurity that threaten to unravel our self-esteem and inner peace. In a world where feedback is omnipresent, from colleagues, friends, family, or even strangers on social media, the ability to handle criticism with grace and equanimity is an invaluable skill. The Stoics, with their emphasis on inner resilience and control over one's own mind, offer a powerful approach to dealing with criticism that can keep you grounded, confident, and unshaken. Imagine receiving a harsh critique, whether it's about your work, your choices, or even your character. Your initial reaction might be one of defensiveness, hurt, or anger. But what if, instead of reacting emotionally, you could pause, reflect, and respond from a place of wisdom and strength? What if you could sift through the criticism, take what is useful, and discard what is not, all without letting it disturb your peace of mind? This is the Stoic way of dealing with criticism, a method that helps you stay centered and unaffected while still allowing for personal growth. The Stoics teach us that the opinions of others are beyond our control and therefore should not dictate our happiness or sense of self-worth. By internalizing this principle, you can approach criticism with a sense of detachment, seeing it for what it is, someone else's perspective, not an absolute truth. This detachment doesn't mean ignoring feedback or dismissing it outright. Rather, it's about evaluating criticism objectively, without letting it impact your emotional state or sense of self. Consider the moments in your life when criticism has struck a nerve, when it has lingered in your thoughts, casting a shadow over your confidence. What if, instead of allowing those words to unsettle you, you could approach them with the calm, steady mindset of a Stoic? By mastering this approach, you can transform criticism from a source of distress into an opportunity for growth, all while maintaining your inner peace and integrity. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of self-awareness and understanding your own values. When you are clear about who you are, what you stand for, and where your strengths and weaknesses lie, criticism loses its power to shake you. You can evaluate feedback against your own standards rather than those imposed by others. If the criticism aligns with your values and highlights areas for improvement, you can accept it with humility and use it to grow. If it doesn't, you can let it go, knowing that it doesn't define you. Imagine the freedom that comes from not needing to defend yourself against every critical remark, from not being swayed by others' opinions of you. This is the kind of inner strength that Stoicism cultivates, a resilience that allows you to face criticism with calmness and clarity, and to respond in a way that is aligned with your values and goals. In dealing with criticism, the Stoics also remind us of the importance of perspective. Often, we take criticism too personally, seeing it as an attack on our very identity. But by stepping back and viewing the situation from a broader perspective, we can see that criticism is often more about the person giving it than about us. Their words may reflect their own fears, insecurities, or misunderstandings. By recognizing this, you can distance yourself from the emotional impact of their words and maintain your composure. Moreover, the Stoics encourage us to embrace criticism as an inevitable part of life, something that everyone faces, regardless of their actions or intentions. By accepting this reality, you can approach criticism with a sense of equanimity, knowing that it's simply a part of the human experience. This acceptance helps you to remain calm and focused, even in the face of harsh or unfair feedback. Imagine receiving a critique that, in the past, might have left you feeling defensive or hurt. Now, with the tools of Stoicism at your disposal, you can listen calmly, evaluate the feedback objectively, and decide how to respond, all without losing your sense of self or peace of mind. This is the power of Stoic resilience, a mindset that allows you to face criticism with confidence and clarity, and to emerge from it stronger and wiser. In your journey of self-improvement, criticism will always be a companion, sometimes a helpful guide, sometimes an unwelcome intruder. By mastering the Stoic approach to criticism, you can ensure that this companion does not derail you from your path, but instead helps you to grow and evolve. You can turn what might seem like a threat into an opportunity, and what might feel like an attack into a moment of learning and reflection. Through the principles of Stoicism, you can learn to view criticism not as a judgment of your worth, but as a tool for growth, a perspective that frees you from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies negative feedback. With this mindset, you can face criticism with courage, respond with wisdom, and continue on your path with your integrity and inner peace intact. One of the first steps in the Stoic approach to dealing with criticism is recognizing that criticism is an inevitable part of life. Whether you're a leader, an artist, a student, or simply someone navigating daily interactions, you will encounter criticism. The Stoics teach that it's not the criticism itself that matters, but how we respond to it. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, reminds us that we cannot control others' opinions or actions, only our own responses. This fundamental Stoic idea is at the heart of handling criticism effectively. When you understand that criticism is unavoidable, you can begin to prepare for it mentally and emotionally. Instead of being caught off guard or feeling personally attacked, you can view criticism as a normal, even expected aspect of human interaction. This shift in mindset allows you to face criticism with a calm and collected demeanor, ready to evaluate it rationally rather than react emotionally. Another essential aspect of the Stoic approach to criticism is the concept of indifference or apatheia in the face of external events, including others' opinions. This doesn't mean being apathetic or uncaring, but rather maintaining a sense of inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances. When someone criticizes you, the Stoic practice of indifference helps you to remain unaffected emotionally, allowing you to assess the criticism logically and without bias. This practice of indifference is closely related to the Stoic idea of focusing on what is within your control. You cannot control what others think or say about you, but you can control how you perceive and react to their words. By cultivating a mindset of indifference, you create a mental buffer between yourself and the criticism, preventing it from disturbing your inner peace. The next step in dealing with criticism, according to Stoicism, is to evaluate the feedback objectively. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reflected on the importance of self-examination and self-awareness. He encouraged individuals to consider the source of the criticism, the intent behind it, and whether it aligns with their values and principles. By assessing criticism with a clear and rational mind, you can determine whether it is constructive and worth considering, or if it is baseless and can be disregarded. This objective evaluation involves asking yourself a few key questions. Is the criticism valid? Does it point out a genuine area for improvement? Is it delivered with the intention of helping me grow, or is it motivated by jealousy, anger, or misunderstanding? By answering these questions, you can decide whether to take the criticism to heart or to let it go. For example, if a colleague criticizes your work, take a moment to consider their feedback. Are they highlighting a mistake or an area where you can improve? If so, you can use this as an opportunity to learn and grow. On the other hand, if the criticism is vague, unfounded, or delivered in a harsh and unconstructive manner, it may be more reflective of the critic's own issues than of your performance. In such cases, you can choose to acknowledge the feedback without internalizing it, maintaining your focus and confidence. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of humility when dealing with criticism. While it is natural to feel defensive when criticized, humility allows you to accept that you are not perfect and that there is always room for improvement. By approaching criticism with humility, you can view it as a valuable tool for personal growth, rather than as an attack on your character. Humility involves acknowledging that others may see things from a different perspective, and that their feedback can provide insights that you may have overlooked. It means being open to learning from others, even when their criticism is difficult to hear. This openness to feedback is a sign of strength, not weakness, and it enables you to grow and improve continually. However, humility does not mean blindly accepting all criticism. It is important to strike a balance between being open to feedback and maintaining your self-confidence. By evaluating criticism objectively and with humility, you can take what is useful and discard the rest, without letting it undermine your sense of self-worth. Another important aspect of the Stoic approach to criticism is recognizing that criticism often says more about the critic than it does about you. People criticize for a variety of reasons, sometimes out of genuine concern, but other times out of envy, frustration, or a desire to assert their own superiority. By understanding the motivations behind criticism, you can gain a deeper perspective and avoid taking it personally. When someone criticizes you harshly or unfairly, it can be helpful to consider what might be driving their behavior. Are they projecting their own insecurities onto you? Are they trying to bring you down because they feel threatened by your success? By recognizing these underlying motivations, you can distance yourself from the criticism and maintain your emotional balance. This does not mean that you should dismiss all criticism as baseless, but rather that you should consider the context and the source before allowing it to affect you. By understanding the potential biases and motivations of the critic, you can make a more informed decision about how to respond. The Stoics also encourage us to practice forgiveness and compassion, both towards ourselves and towards those who criticize us. When you are criticized, it is easy to become defensive or resentful, but these emotions only serve to increase your own suffering. By practicing forgiveness, you can let go of any negative emotions that arise from the criticism and maintain your inner peace. Forgiveness involves recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, including yourself, and that criticism is often a reflection of the critic's own struggles and limitations. By forgiving the critic, you free yourself from the burden of resentment and create space for understanding and empathy. This practice of forgiveness also extends to yourself. If the criticism is valid and highlights an area where you need to improve, it is important to forgive yourself for any mistakes you have made and to focus on how you can learn and grow from the experience. Self-forgiveness is a crucial aspect of maintaining your self-confidence and resilience in the face of criticism. One of the most powerful tools in the Stoic approach to criticism is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you receive criticism, mindfulness allows you to notice your initial emotional reactions, whether it is anger, defensiveness, or hurt, without letting them control your response. By practicing mindfulness, you can create a mental space between the criticism and your reaction, allowing you to respond with intention rather than reacting impulsively. This mindful approach helps you to stay calm and centered, even in the face of harsh or unfair feedback. Mindfulness also involves staying focused on the present moment, rather than dwelling on past criticisms or worrying about future ones. By staying present, you can deal with criticism as it arises, without letting it affect your overall sense of well-being. Another key aspect of the Stoic approach to criticism is the practice of setting healthy boundaries. While it is important to be open to feedback, it is also crucial to protect yourself from toxic or harmful criticism. Setting boundaries involves knowing when to engage with criticism and when to step away, particularly when the criticism is delivered in a way that is disrespectful or damaging. Boundaries also involve recognizing your own limits and knowing when to seek support. If the criticism you receive is overwhelming or causes significant distress, it is important to reach out to trusted friends, mentors, or professionals who can provide guidance and support. By setting boundaries and seeking help when needed, you can protect your mental and emotional well-being while still engaging with constructive feedback. The Stoics also teach us the importance of focusing on our own growth and progress rather than on the opinions of others. When you are committed to your own personal development, criticism becomes a tool for self-improvement rather than a threat to your self-esteem. By maintaining a focus on your own goals and values, you can use criticism to help you grow and evolve without letting it derail you from your path. This focus on self-growth involves setting your own standards for success and measuring your progress against them, rather than relying on external validation. When you are clear about your own values and goals, criticism loses its power to shake you because you are anchored in your own sense of purpose and direction. Finally, the Stoic approach to criticism involves cultivating a sense of gratitude. While it may seem counterintuitive, finding gratitude in the face of criticism can be a powerful way to transform your mindset. By viewing criticism as an opportunity for growth and learning, you can shift your perspective from one of defensiveness to one of appreciation. Gratitude also involves recognizing the role that criticism plays in helping you to become a better version of yourself. Even when criticism is difficult to hear, it can provide valuable insights that help you to grow and improve. By cultivating gratitude for these lessons, you can maintain a positive and resilient mindset, even in the face of challenging feedback. In conclusion, the Stoic approach to dealing with criticism is a multifaceted and powerful method for maintaining your inner peace and resilience in the face of negative feedback. By recognizing that criticism is an inevitable part of life, practicing indifference to external opinions, evaluating feedback objectively, and cultivating humility, forgiveness, and mindfulness, You can handle criticism with grace and wisdom. The Stoics remind us that criticism, when approached with the right mindset, can be a valuable tool for growth and self-improvement. By setting healthy boundaries, focusing on your own progress, and cultivating gratitude, you can turn criticism into an opportunity for learning and development rather than a source of stress or insecurity. As you continue on your Stoic journey, these principles will help you to navigate the challenges of criticism with confidence and clarity. You will learn to view criticism not as a judgment of your worth, but as a tool for growth, a perspective that frees you from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies negative feedback. With this mindset, you can face criticism with courage, respond with wisdom, and continue on your path with your integrity and inner peace intact. Outro. As we come to the end of this journey into the depths of Stoic philosophy, I hope you found the wisdom and strategies to be as enlightening as they are empowering. Stoicism, with its timeless principles and practical insights, offers a roadmap not just for surviving the challenges of life, but for thriving amidst them. Whether it's managing your time, letting go of what you cannot control, building resilient relationships, or handling criticism with grace, Stoicism equips you with the tools to live a life of purpose, peace, and inner strength. But remember, the true power of Stoicism lies not in simply understanding these concepts, but in applying them consistently to your daily life. The journey doesn't end here. It's in those quiet moments of reflection, in the face of challenges, and in your interactions with the world where Stoic principles truly come to life. It's about making the conscious choice, day after day, to live in alignment with your values, to pursue success without losing your soul, and to cultivate a mind that is as resilient as it is serene. So, I invite you to take these lessons and make them your own. Begin by incorporating just one Stoic practice into your daily routine, perhaps a morning reflection, a midday pause to recenter, or an evening review of your actions and thoughts. Notice how it begins to shape your perspective, how it helps you navigate the complexities of life with greater ease and confidence. Let Stoicism be your guide, your compass, as you move forward on your journey of self-discovery and growth. And as you continue to explore these ideas, remember that this community is here to support you. We're all on this journey together, learning, growing, and sharing our experiences. Your insights and reflections are invaluable, not just to your own growth, but to everyone who is on this path with you. So here's where I'd love to hear from you. What part of Stoicism resonates with you the most? How do you plan to incorporate these practices into your life? Or maybe you have your own experiences or challenges with Stoicism that you'd like to share. Leave a comment below. I read everyone, and I'm genuinely interested in hearing your thoughts. Your perspective could be just what someone else in this community needs to hear today. And if you found value in this content, if these discussions have sparked something within you, consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community of like-minded individuals who are committed to living with purpose, resilience, and inner peace. Plus, you'll never miss out on future videos that dive deeper into the philosophies and practices that can transform your life. Just hit that subscribe button and let's continue this journey together. Thank you for watching, for reflecting, and for being part of this incredible community. Until